The lineups for the visiting team, the Blue Jays: Tony Fernandez leads off. Rance Mulliniks bats second. Lloyd Mosby third. George Bell fourth. Jesse Barfield will hit fifth. Willie Upshaw will bat sixth. Batting seventh, the second baseman, Damaso Garcia. Ernie Whitt will catch, and he'll bat eighth. And Rick Leach is a designated hitter. He'll bat ninth. For the Yankees, Ricky Henderson leads off. He'll be followed by Ken Griffey, then Don Mattingly. Mike Easler, the designated hitter, batting fourth. Ron Hasse, fifth. Dave Winfield, sixth. Mike Pagliarulo, seventh. Willie Randolph will bat eighth, and Mike Fishland will bat ninth. Defensively for the Yankees, at first base, Don Mattingly. Willie Randolph is playing second. Mike Fishland's a shortstop, and Mike Pagliarulo's at third base. Playing left today, Ken Griffey. The center fielder, Ricky Henderson. Dave Winfield out in right, and behind the plate, Ron Hasse. And on the mound for the Yankees, right-hander Bob Tewksbury. The Tewks won 5 and lost 2. This is his 14th appearance. He has made 12 starts, so he's been out relieving a couple of times. And his ERA 3.71. Yankees have lost 9 straight here at the stadium. And they're trying to break that string. And here to tell you about this afternoon's game, Descuda. Bill White.
I hear you. Beautiful shot of the stadium and the blimp in the background. And a beautiful day for this ball game, and everything's going to be different.
Leading off for the Blue Jays.
The umpires, John Shulock, Dan Morrison at first, Jim McKean at second, and Al Clark at third. Shulock's a home plate umpire. Now, Scooter.
I was going to say, this is the day the Yankees break the losing streak, and all the stats go out the window. We're just going to talk about the ball game today. Forget the strikeouts, ratio, walks to hits. Play the game, and there's a base hit up the middle. I might go back to the stats. First pitch of the ball game. I don't believe it. Said it.
Well, these guys are having fun, the Blue Jays. Having a lot of fun.
They really are. Everything they swing at's a base hit. Fernandez had his hitting streak stopped yesterday, but he's starting a new one today. Tewksbury, as Rance Mulliniks comes up. As Bill told you, he's won 5, lost 2, and he gives up a lot of hits, but not that many runs because he doesn't walk that many, and the infield has a chance for the double play. In 68 innings of pitching, he has given up 84. Now that's 85 hits, which is a lot more ratio hits to innings pitched. But as we say, he's got a good earned run average. They don't hit the long ball. That's a chance for 2. Oh, Randolph booted it. Holy cow.
Willie tried to turn quickly to get the ball to second base, and he just moved the glove to the left a little bit too much. Watch him now. He'll try to get the glove in position to turn and throw the second base right here.
Yep.
And the ball just skips by him, and that's an error for Willie Randolph.
He turns that hip too soon. You can see it. Kicked off his foot. And first and second, nobody out now. Lloyd Mosby, the batter. Mosby had 2 home runs in yesterday's ball game.
Well, the Yankees have not been booting games away. They've just been getting out-hit. The pitchers have not done the job. And this is for the first time, I think, in quite a while that Randolph has made an error.
Oh, yes. All right. Still got a chance for the DP. Get out of the inning. Foul back. I tell you, they do go up there cutting and slashing this club. Coming into today's action, they have actually taken the lead now in team batting in the American League with their all those hits they had yesterday. They're 1 point higher than the Yankees, who were leading prior to yesterday's game. They're at 278 team average. Yankees 277. Nobody out. And young Bob Tewksbury. Oh, what a beautiful off-speed pitch. And Mosby really fooled on that one.
It's even outside.
Yep. He had such good motion on it that Mosby went for the fake. First and second for the Jays. Nobody out. Just missed. Boy, that was a close pitch. Mosby must be a disciplined hitter not to go for that one. And no! Great catch by Winfield! Holy cow! There's the turning point, White. Holy cow, he took a 3-run homer away and almost turned it into a double play. What a great catch by Winfield. Unbelievable.
It's a breaking ball. It hung up out over the plate. Winfield at 6'6". He's running back to the 353 sign.
Oh, that's unbelievable. That was over the fence.
Oh, I'm not sure it was over the fence, but it would have been a double.
Say it. Makes a better story, White. Look at this. That's over the fence.
Now, wait a minute. He still had some room to come down. It was an excellent play. It saved at least a couple of runs.
Oh, man.
And as you mentioned, maybe 3.
All right. But what I think it does is going to perk up Tewksbury, Winfield, and all the Yankees. And here is George Bell now. And they continue to pitch him inside. Bell at 323, as you can see, 13 homers, 53 runs batted in. Tewksbury bluffs the old Johnny Sane pickoff move. Foul back, 1-1.
One thing you like about Winfield, he doesn't take his offensive troubles in the outfield with him.
You're right.
A lot of guys will, if they're not hitting, they'll get down. They'll give you a half effort in the outfield. But Winfield is an asset just playing right field.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, he saves as many runs as he drives in when he's hitting well. Remember, we used to see Piniella go out there after maybe making out and practice his swing. And, boy, nobody's going to be able to get to that. He nubbed one foul and broke the bat, it looks like. But it wasn't hit high enough or close enough to either Hasse. Look at he really hit him on the fist.
Well, they keep that ball in on Bell.
Yep.
They get it out over the plate, of course. That ball been a foot further out, he would have gotten good wood on it.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. All the superstitious ball players for the Yankees really did things differently today. I know I did. I put my right sock on my left foot and my left sock on my right foot today. As a balk, how do you like that now? And Tewksbury. A lot of those pitchers ask, what's the sign? I think Lou was saying time had been called, and he got back in, and time hadn't been called back in, even though he got in the batter's box. But Tewksbury has a way of asking for the sign again and moving the glove, and if that's his natural way of doing it.
Well, he can do that if he steps off. He can step off the rubber and ask for the sign.
You know, what's his name used to do it? Alexander did it on every pitch. He'd get the sign and he'd lift the glove up and rub his shirt. You know, saying, okay, I got the sign.
We can't see from here what he did anyway. It just didn't look like he moved at all.
It really didn't, but let's look again. Oh, we got to... That was too quick. Well, it looks like Piniella loses the argument. What a tough break. We're going to take another look at this. I'm going to watch Hasse.
You know, he's got his right foot on the rubber. Or does he?
No, now
he's on. Now he can ask for a sign if he takes it.
Well, let's see. This is going to be close. Griffey in, makes the catch. The throw to third base. They give the run with Fernandez, who can fly running, but they hold the runner at second. We missed the end of that play because the ball was hit by Bell. It's a sacrifice fly. But what it would have been just an out and no run score. And as I said, we didn't get a good look at the finish of what Tewksbury might have done. somewhere along the way, we'll get another look at that. Here's Jesse Barfield.
Number 29.
All right, right after this pitch, we're going to show it to you. Barfield hitting .291 with 19 homers and 55 runs batted in. 2 out. Ball 1. Here we're going to get a look now. Not on a rubber yet. Now he's on the rubber. Now, see, we missed it, and I didn't see him do anything. But they went to the runners, and we missed whatever he might have done. Breaking pitch, low, 2-0. Barfield is the big RBI man. He has 55. Bill, with the one he just got, has 54. And that's ball 3. 3-0.
Tewksbury might be having some problems getting loose. He doesn't seem to have much velocity on his fastball.
All right, that was Mullenix leading off second. On a 3-0 pitch. Oh, played poorly by Fishling. On a play like that, you got to get your body in front of the ball, and on the short hop, knock it down. That'll be a base hit. So the Yankees just can't catch a break. The error, this one, he's got to get in front of this ball.
I agree with you.
Instead of
Tough
playing
to
it
do,
on the
but
side.
you got to get your whole body in there and so something, dive for it and smother it. All stayed up quite a while on the high bounce.
So it's 2-0. Boy, I'd say that first inning has really been a jinx for the Yankees. You count the runs the opposing team has had in about the last
Well,
2
here,
weeks.
though, Phil, the error to Randolph, and
Yeah.
Balk,
That's true.
it's not Tewks' fault.
Nope, not at all. All the runs are unearned. Should have been 3 men out with just 1 man left on base. Mattingly holding the bag against Barfield. Upshaw takes it high. It's 2-0. Batting .261. 2 home runs, 31 runs batted in. Strike 1, 2-1. Barfield back easily. Low, 3-1. Bob Tewksbury. To bow his neck and really bear down. Runner going, bounce to short. And Fishling throws him out. 2 unearned runs on 2 base hits, 1 error, 1 man left. And at the end of 1/2 inning, Toronto 2 and the Yankees coming to bat.
Back here at the stadium, Dave Stieb loosening up. Blue Jays lead by a score of 2-0, and defensively they have Willie Upshaw at first base, Damaso Garcia at second, Tony Fernandez the shortstop, and Rance Mullenix at third. The outfield of Bell, Mosby, and Barfield reading from left to right, and Ernie Witt is behind the plate, and on the mound Dave Stieb. This is his 16th start. He has 1 complete game. That was a shutout. His ERA 5.64. He's won 2 and lost 8. And he's given up a lot of base hits per innings pitched. He's pitched 99 innings, and he's given up 119 base hits. He doesn't have the strikeouts that he normally has. He has 62 in 99 innings. Normally, Dave Stieb's among the leaders in strikeouts, wins, ERA, and everything else. He always has had a low ERA, but he hasn't had the wins to go along with it.
You know, there are quite a few pitchers like that. One who comes to mind is Bert Blyleven, who Wins a lot, but loses a lot. And you wonder why.
24.
Got great curves, great fastballs. All right, Ricky Henderson now hitting .289, 14 homers, 43 runs batted in. 2-0, as we told you, the 2 unearned runs by the Blue Jays. Turned into a beautiful day for this ball game. Foul back and out of play. Beautiful shot at the big ballpark. The few scattered clouds and a blue sky. Field in great condition. Give the umpire an error. That time he threw it right.
Last year, Stieb was 14-13 with a 2.48 ERA. You figure if you can hold a team under 3 runs today, you should win quite a few ball games. Clemens is, what, 14-0 now with a 2.1 ERA.
All right, Ricky's stepping back in now. Hit him right off the elbow. He just didn't move. It was funny the way he held it there. Not funny at all, because that is a bad spot, and what that tends to do, even if they put ice on, is stiffen up later, and it's going to bother not only his swinging, but his watch. Look, he doesn't move that elbow. Oh man, that bone, that crazy bone, I guess it's the funny bone. Ooh, right on the tip. Pain is just starting to set in now. Seems like every part of your body aches when you get hit there. Yeah, he's moving the fingers, Bill. You know, the worst thing would be a break right there. There's that ethyl chloride they're spraying on. Break of the elbow.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Yankees and WPIX and is intended solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game or any segment without the express written consent of the Yankees is prohibited. Frank Gifford will host the Legend of Stars on July 3rd at the Waldorf Astoria to honor Bob and Dolores Hope and Admiral Alan Shepard at a centennial celebration luncheon. It's an opportunity you wouldn't want to miss, as Bill Ferghese and the Statue of Liberty Commission ring in Liberty Weekend all across the country. For more information, call 212-838-9867. That's 212-838-9867. Don't miss the World Series of the Centennial Celebration.
It's good to see him hanging in there, Bill, but he's got to keep moving that arm, flexing that elbow. Can't let it stiffen up. Good time to give him a decoy. Maybe Stieb will feel sorry for him and let Ricky steal second and third.
Maybe some of his own pitchers will take the hint.
Yes. Oh, all right. I tell you. Get their uniforms dirty a little bit. All right, Ken Griffey, the batter. Griff batting .301. 6 doubles, 9 homers, 26 RBIs. Oh, nobody's going to get that one. And Henderson will score if it don't bounce over the wall. Yes, sir. Oh, they're holding him up. Holy cow. I guess Zimmer got burned once early, the first day here, as a matter of fact. What a shot, and it had to hit the fence and bounce right back instead of hitting one of those cracks in the canvas out there and kicking to the left or right.
And again, the ball is up. Griffey gets the body up. Good follow through at the 385 mark. Almost bounced over the fence. Good relay by Lloyd Mosby into Garcia, and wisely he held Henderson at third base. Don Zimmer. He would have been out.
You're being very kind, White, but that's all right.
You think
Second
you
and
could
third?
have scored?
No, with Mattingly and Easler and Hasse coming up, good move. But I think he would have scored, to answer your question. Foul back, strike one.
I'm glad you're up here and not down on the third base
That's
coaching
right,
line.
I know it, but it'd be exciting.
Yeah, you'd have about 10 guys throwing out a ball game.
Mattingly hitting .340, 23 doubles, 13 homers, 55 runs batted in. Yanks trail 2-0, but what a chance to tie it up, maybe go ahead right here. Good slider, but a little bit low and inside, 1-1. Mattingly, who on that base hit yesterday had to leave the game. You see he's got the bandage on the over the glove of the left hand. Hurt the little finger of the left hand and ended up putting ice on it for the remainder of the game. Came out of the game.
Looks like he might have a bone bruise also.
1 ball, 2 strikes. He's a big man right now. All right, that'll get 1 run in. He's got a good arm, but Henderson will score. And Griffey's going to try it. He decoyed him, and he's going to make it. Ho-ho! Bell hesitated. I tell you, Griffey gave him a great decoy out there. Now, that was heads-up base runner.
Well, he started, stopped, then shifted gears and snuck into third base. Here's Bell again. As Phil mentioned, he's got an excellent arm. Now you'll watch Griffey.
Oh, I tell you, now that is something else. Now, all right, here's Eastland. Now we're going to watch Bell again. Right there, see, he's watching Griffey, and now he throws hard. If he had come up throwing right away, he'd have been a dead duck, as Bill told you. He's got a great arm. Matter of fact, the whole outfield for the Blue Jays have great arm. All right, now Mike Easler, 2-1 ball game. Sacrifice fly for Mattingly, RBI number 56. And Easler hitting .335, 6 homers, 40 runs batted in. Slider in, strike 1. Oh, another slider right in on the hands, 0-2. Mike's got to get a piece of the ball. Doesn't have to drive it hard. And that's fouled out of play. Nothing in 2 with 1 man out. Just inside. Boy, he is pitching tough to Easler. He keeps it there. He's going to get him out.
All sliders in there.
Yep. Line score. Whoa, he put a little extra mustard on that one. 2-2.
Probably come back with that slider down and in after throwing that fastball up.
All right, we want to. Easler now wants to make sure whatever got in his eye got out. Really good batting average with runners in scoring position, and
He'll get him in.
all right.
Normally, I'm not saying he's going to get Griffey in, but he gets the runners in from second base.
Oh, he's going to do it. And beat it out. Holy cow. That should be a base hit. That was a tough play for Mullenix. Anyway, we got a tie score here, an RBI for Easler. And they give him a base hit.
Ball is sliced off third base.
Ron Haskell. Catcher. Number 12.
They give him a hit on that?
Yes, they should. Handcuff the third baseman.
You kidding me?
Yeah, no, I'm not kidding you, White. You gotta, you see, you play the other side of the diamond. You don't know what goes on over on the left side of the diamond.
I expect major leaguers to make major league plays, average plays.
But you see, that ball, as you said, was...
That ball's made in Columbus.
Like you said, it was sliced off the bat, right? Rip foul by Hasse. Whoa! High curveball. I'm going to get back to that in a moment. Hasse batting .309, 5 homers, 22 runs batted in. And if Stieb keeps pitching up, remember the one to Griffey was up, and he one-hopped it off the right center field fence. And that one Hasse just got out in front of Easler at first. His 41st RBI. That's striking. He got that around the knees, and Hasse didn't like that one. 0-2. 2-2 the score. He couldn't pull the trigger, and that was a strike. Got a good slider. First strikeout for Stieb.
They're working on Henderson's elbow. Gene Monahan, the Yankee trainer.
Oh, you know that hurts, boy. I tell you, that's so tender. Because that got the bone that did not get muscle. You can see Ricky's in pain. All right, here's Winfield, who made that tremendous play, a 4-star job out there in right center field in the first inning. Even Dave taped his bat a little differently. Is that tape on the bat before I...
Yep.
That is tape. All the stupid... Oh, that's gone! Oh, it's going to go foul. Son of a gun. I'm more excited, White. I can't help it. Even Ed Aragoni made me take that New York bus service watch off my left hand and put it on my right wrist. Changed everything. I better take one of my heart pills. I'm telling you, this is getting, 9 in a row. Never have the Yankees lost 9 in a row. Oh, I tell you, he's got a good slider today. Jimmy, I don't need any of your, I don't want to give the name of the brand, but I know what they're for agita. Upset stomachs, but... There's Ed Aragoni, sitting in the second row. We're attaboy, Ed. All right. Bouncer to short, but Fernandez flips to second base for the force. The Yankees pick up 2 runs, 2 hits. There were no errors and a man left. At the end of 1 is Toronto 2 and the Yankees 2.
Mr. Rizzuto.
Yes, sir, Mr. White. All right, we got a brand new ball game in the top of the second. It'll be the bottom third of the Blue Jays order. Garcia, Witt, and Leach. Garcia has really raised his average in this series. He's up to 275, 15 doubles, 2 homers, and 26 runs batted in. Strike 1. Good breaking pitch. Told you many times, Damaso, tough man to walk. Swings that bat. Ah, little look at Garcia. Look out. Hold. Oh, come on. I don't believe that umpire. Holy cow.
What'd he say?
He thought that Tewksbury threw at Garcia.
He probably did.
Tewksbury pitches inside, White.
That's right.
All right. I don't believe it. Popped him up, and Winfield's got to come get it. He's there. And makes the catch. Randolph couldn't get the pointed right away and looked like Dave had a little problem. Now look at the umpire's going to go out.
Number 12.
Well, he better not.
Eddie Witt. Catcher. Number 12.
Ernie Witt, the catcher. Witt hitting .212 with 7 doubles, 7 homers, and 24 runs batted in. Hitting pretty well against Yankee pitching. Ball 1. Two ball game, and the top of the second. And Henderson is there. Makes the catch, 2 men out. So Ricky's hanging in there. You can see that left elbow still bothering him. But each inning, Gene Monahan will work on it. He'll one-hand this one. Did not slap the hip with that one. That's Ken Griffey. No, that's Ricky Henderson. And now Rick Leach. Ground ball, Randolph gets it. Oh, beautiful play. Oh, holy. He threw that ball from shortstop. All right, the Yankees getting into the swing of things now. 3 up, 3 down at the end of an inning and a half. Toronto 2, Yankees 2. And now let's pause for station identification.
Let's look at that play Willie Randolph made on Rick Leach again. Here's Randolph going out toward center field. Off-balance throw. And Mattingly does a good job of keeping the toe on the bag at first base. Watch another angle of Randolph again. Good off-balance throw by Willie Randolph.
The accuracy was unbelievable, but like you say, I don't know how Mattingly, he's not that tall, can keep that toe on the bag, and he does it.
Number 13.
All right, it's 2-2, and Mike Pagliarulo will be the batter.
Third base. Number 13.
Pags at 247, 17 doubles, 16 homers, and 37 runs batted in. Leads the club in homers. Bounce foul, strike 1. Out in front of that changeup. I said every time Steve's thrown the ball high, White, they've creamed it either fair or foul.
Obviously, we're not seeing the Steve we saw the past few years. He just doesn't have that mustard.
No.
But he's making an adjustment. A lot of curved balls.
Just missed. 1 ball down. They're working on Henderson again. We told you each inning they'll work on him to keep it loose or try to keep it loose. They're going to put that rubber thing on the elbow now. Struck him out. Looked like he swung right through that pitch. And now Willie Randolph.
Willie Randolph. Second base.
Yep, there's that rubber sleeve they're putting on the left elbow. Ball 1. Willie hitting .278, 1 homer, 30 runs batted in. 2-0. Strike 1, 2-1. "79 years ago yesterday, White, in 1907, that is, catcher Branch Rickey of the Yankees. I didn't know Branch Rickey was a catcher for the Yankees. Set a major league record. He allowed 13 stolen bases to the Washington Senators. So he was a better general manager than he was a catcher. High fly off the end of the bat, and coming on is Barfield, makes the catch. 2 men out.
Number 22.
And that'll bring up Mike Fischlin.
Shortstop. Number 22.
And there is Ricky Henderson with the rubber bandage on the, or elastic bandage on the, over the left elbow. One strike on Fischlin. Line score. Each team with 2 runs, 2 hits. The Yankees have made 1 error. Strike 2, 0-2. Look at those deuces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Playing 7-card stud, man. Oh, no, if we were playing 7-card stud, they shoot me because there's no 7 deuces in a deck. Right? There's only 4. Oh, we used to have some great poker games. Fouled back for late Thurman Munson. Oh, man. Stick, Michael. We had some guys that would tear up decks of cards when they'd lose a tough hand. High, and it's 2-2. Look at this, 8. 2, 4, 8. I never saw that before on the scoreboard. Gotta save that one now. Tape that, Connie. Whoa, 3-2. Fischlin looked like he was going to run out the shortstop after that pitch. 3-2. Foul back. By the way, Bill White mentioned it, but very low key, that it's Ed Aragone's birthday. And whether it is or not, they're celebrating his birthday today.
Boston jumping out to a 2-0 lead over Baltimore in the first inning.
Things are tough enough here, White, without you telling me. Little looper, and oh, he dropped. I want to tell you, he had to catch that on a fly. That's got to be a base hit now. That was the softest base hit of the year. He hit it right off the fist. Didn't hit it hard enough to carry just beyond second base.
Center fielder, Ricky.
Here's a shortstop, Fernandez, just under the glove. Trying to catch it in the air.
Yep. I tell you, Stieb is beside himself out there. Stieb is one of those pitchers that when you make a mistake behind him, it really bothers his pitching. Strike 1 to Ricky Henderson. They've called some weird strikes on Ricky since we've come home. I don't understand it, but...
Well, the question is the strike zone with Henderson batting.
Yeah, that's part of it, yeah, but I'm talking about the inside pitches. I'm not talking about the height.
Well, most of these umpires have wide strike zones anyway.
Look at Ricky trying to make sure he can swing the bat with that thing on his elbow. I don't know whether he's ever worn one of them before.
Mattingly wore one last year, remember?
Had a great year, too.
Yeah, wore one part of the year.
Slice foul. One year they tried to put one on me, but I had too many muscles. And
so then they decided to put it around your neck.
It's a good thing you didn't say my head. Look at Rick. See him shaking it there? That is the trouble when you're very muscular, like me and Ricky. I mean, you got... Martin's eating his heart out here. Billy Martin. Thanks for the ice pop, Martin. 2 strikes on Ricky, and Fischlin gets back.
It'd be a good time to send Fischlin. If he gets thrown out, they start all over again with Henderson.
Give Ricky, yes, 3
Next
strikes.
inning, he doesn't get thrown out. Got a runner in scoring position.
Ricky was hit for all.
Oh, they were thinking. They were thinking that too. Brought a pitch out. Jimmy Williams, the manager of the Blue Jays.
You can't see in there, White. You're just guessing.
You're right.
He's back. Now I'd like to see him go on this pitch.
Don Zimmer.
Oh. That's the angle I needed, Martin. The other day when I said I think Zimmer's losing weight, they had the slim camera on. The mini camera they had on. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. They haven't set him yet. This could be a good time. 3 times I've guessed now, and they haven't sent him yet. Let's see. Nope. And he loops one into left center, but it's going to hang up there. And Bell makes the catch. No runs, a hit, no errors, a man left. Looked like Ricky couldn't get that bat around. At the end of 2, Toronto 2 and the Yankees 2. There it is. Happy birthday to our buddy Ed Aragoni. Oh, a staunch Yankee fan. There he is with a cigar. Look at that. I hope that's a victory cigar that he's smoking. Ed, of course, was the sponsor of Midday yesterday, New York bus service. Don't talk with a cigar in your mouth, Aragoni. All right, here we go. Well, Billy Martin's here as Fernandez bluffs a bunt, takes a ball. And Billy, first thing I wanted to ask you, I couldn't wait till you got here. I could not believe that the plate umpire, Shulak, called a balk on Tewksbury.
That wasn't a balk, Phil.
Well, that's what I thought. I want you to explain it, though. Strike 1-1.
He had the ball in his throwing hand, and he used his glove on his knee to rub off the sign from the catcher like, no, I don't want it, or yes, I do, and that's perfectly legal.
Of course.
And the umpire must have thought he made a motion to bring his glove up with the ball in the glove. It was not. The ball was in his bare hand.
All right, now that's...
I'd have to be... had a little conversation with Mr. Shulak on that one there.
All right, he probably will admit he's wrong. Hard grounder. Oh, Matt. Oh, I tell you now, that error that Willie made in the first inning has really inspired him. He's made 2 good plays, Billy.
That was a very good play right there. Went after the ball, knocked it down, which a good infielder should do. He's got a fast runner at the plate. Look, he knocks it down, makes a nice play, makes a great recovery, comes up throwing, throws a strike to first. Nice play. Very nice.
Another look at it.
And again, Phil, you mentioned it. There it is again. Nice recovery.
It was a good shot of... Billy can explain that, how you get ready for when the pitch is coming in, Bill, what Willie Randolph was doing.
Well, he positioned himself. Phil, like officially, you mentioned earlier, they should have kept that ball in front of him. Stop the run from scoring.
Right, you got to do that. And there's a strike 1-1. On that shot of Willie, now, like, he looked like he was expecting a curveball, and he moved a little to his left as the pitch was coming in.
Well, sometimes you like to see him move before, Phil, you know, so you don't give it away to the hitter.
Foul that off his foot. I see what you mean.
That'll smart. Yeah, like a lot of times the hitter will watch infield, shortstop and second baseman. If they see him move before the pitch, then they'll know it's going to be a breaking ball or a fastball. And this is what you have to tell your infielders: don't move before. Anticipate.
Soon, yeah.
Anticipate what the pitch might be. Move over in that area.
All right. I saw that. Here's that play that we were talking about. Now, watch Willie. Pitch. See him bounce to the left there as though it looked like a curve, but like Billy said, if you do it too soon, that hitter, although it's tough for him to watch the second baseman, he's got a better eye on the shortstop, but a little high, 2-2.
When the pitch is winding up, that's the time to make you move to your position.
Uh-huh.
Because it's hard for him to follow the pitcher and the infielder at the same time.
Right. A little low, 3-2. 2-2 ball game in the top of the third, 1 man out.
Play him straight away, has decent power for a third baseman.
Yes, he does. He has very decent power. Say, Ed Martin, tell me something. I was very superstitious. How about you?
Never, Phil.
Well, you're better off not being superstitious.
No, I never was.
Drive you bananas. He did not get, I hope not, all of that. Yes, he did. No, he didn't. Winfield got it again. Holy cow, he's going to make it happen. That was not as spectacular as the first one.
No, but it still was a good play.
Great play, but not a 4-star job. I gave him 4 stars on the other one, not this one. Let's see how you rate it. We'll hold the cards up here. How many stars you going to give Winfield on this?
Well, it's a good timing play. It's right
Look
there.
At that. That might have been over the fence.
It might have been, Phil.
We'll give him a 3-star job. 1, 2, 3. Watch this. That would have been over the fence. All right. 3 stars. He got 4 stars on the other one, so Winfield's got 7 stars today.
Getting back to your question, Phil, about being superstitious.
Yes.
I had a sister Patricia in catechism school that told us we're not supposed to be superstitious.
I know. Oh, you're going to get me in trouble. The priests have told me that for many moons, Martin. But you can't help it.
Well, I guess some people can't really. But...
And there's a fly to a deep center. Henderson. Hope he's got room. Yep, stayed in the ballpark. Ricky makes it. 3 up, 3 down, and at the end of 2.5, it's Toronto 2 and the Yankees 2. All right. Yankee fans getting a little wave. That last commercial, it'd be nice to have those 2 guys in their prime right now, wouldn't it, Billy?
Oh, boy, I tell you.
Catfish Hunter and Whitey Ford. I mean, 2 of the best controlled pitchers in all of baseball.
And 2 of the same type of guys, too, Phil. Whenever they got beat, never complained. They just said, hey, it was my fault. I didn't do the job. Didn't blame their teammates for the defense or anybody else. Just took it like a man.
That is great. See, like Stieb now, you watch. If you ever come to a game, he's pitched, one of his teammates makes an error behind him. He gets very upset.
I wonder how the teammates feel when he throws a home run ball.
Hey, no, that's true. You never think of that the other way. All right, Griffey ripped a double to right center field first time up and takes a ball. He's a mystery, this Stieb. I mean, he's got good stuff. There's no doubt about it. But he does not win consistently. Hard ground ball, ooh, right, like an ice cream cone, right in the tip of the glove, 1 away.
First baseman.
You know, with the exception of not having the fastball that Nolan Ryan had. Nolan Ryan's in that same category.
Yeah, right.
Great
Close
stuff.
To 500.
500 pitcher.
Unbelievable. I mean, people come out to see him. He strikes out a lot, but he also walks a lot.
And loses a lot.
And loses. And but, you know, he must have some kind of arm to throw as many pitches as he has thrown in each game over all these years. Line just foul. Oh, Mattingly.
You talk about throwing a lot of pitches. One day against us here in an extra inning ball game, I knew he threw 300 pitches.
No, he's strong. Now, Mattingly's testing. You know what he's doing, though, also? He hurt that left hand again. That's how he hurt it yesterday when he got that base hit. They had to take him out. You see him there. And when he hits a ball off the end of the bat, it must feel like hitting a beehive and being stung by all those bees.
Like hitting a rock.
Yep. Oh, man, it's hurting him when he does that. He hit a long sacrifice fly his first time up to help build those 2 runs.
That's like when you're playing golf, Phil, and you hit a tree trunk. It's about the same feeling.
Look at, oh.
There it is.
Saw that right off the end of the bat, and he's trying to pitch him out there 1-on-1.
Well, that's smart, pitching away from the right field fence.
Oh, yeah. Fouled again to the left side, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mattingly still thinks that bat might be broken. Of course, that hand hurts him, and now Shulock is looking at it.
Well, I don't think he's going to get much help there.
No, but the thing is that if that bat did not have a definite split, he wouldn't let him go back, even if Mattingly thought it was split. Yeah. Those new rules are terrible they got.
They don't want you to use pine tar or anything.
Oh.
But they'll let you hit with it. They won't let you go back and get anything.
No, it's not. Yes, man, you're right there. Weird.
Lee McPhail got to know that he made a mistake that time.
Oh, that's...
You know, as much as I love the man.
I'll never forget that day. No, that day just about ruined me. I could not believe it.
The Rules Committee even overruled him.
Yep. Oh, and that's got to be a base hit. That almost took his left leg off. Holy cow, did he cream that?
Sure did.
Oh. They did give him a hit, right? I'm going to give him one whether they give him one or not. Hit.
Designated hitter.
Oh, did he hit this, huh?
He got all of it, Bill. Line shot right off that left leg. That Will Smart.
That will.
Gets your attention, doesn't it?
Yeah. All right, Mattingly at first, and now Mike Easler. Easler had an infield hit to drive in a run his first time up. 1 out. Griffey hit the ball hard. Mattingly hit the ball hard. That's hit softly, and they'll... Oh, look! How do you like that? Ha!
That's you call luck, though.
That was luck. But also it was good concentration. You know, he could have turned the wrong way. We've got to watch this, guys.
Routine ground ball,
Yep.
routine double play, routine play. Routine play. What more can we say?
All right, but it does give the Yankees a break, a runner in scoring position. He had turned around.
You know, we're starting to see things I haven't seen in years.
You will see them, I tell you. As you know, you managed and played all those years. You see something different sometime during the season. All right, Hasse called out on strikes first time up. 2 men out. Strike one. He had a good rip at that. Mattingly at second.
Now, here's a guy, when he played against you, you wouldn't think that he was that aggressive or that kind of a guy, Hasse.
No.
And then when you get him on your club, you find out what a great guy he is and how aggressive he really is. He just has that look about him that he might be slow and lazy.
Yeah, relaxing, right. Bouncer right to Garcia. And he throws out Hasse. So Billy Martin and Bill White are going to carry you along on the Pepsi scoreboard at the end of 3. It's Toronto 2 and the Yankees 2.
Dan Pasqua in left field for the Yankees, and Ken Griffey moves from left field to center field. We saw earlier, beginning of the ball game, Ricky Henderson hit on the left elbow, and evidently Billy, it pained him so much. He didn't really get a good hack his last time up against Dave Stieb. The ball he hit the left center.
Didn't swing at the ball at all, Bill. Looked like it was really bothering me. You know, when you put one of those sleeves on your elbow, you have to use it for a couple of days to even get used to it, because it really hampers your swing, and I think we saw it right there that he was going to be out of their swing.
So Pasqua in left and Griffey in center. Winfield still in right as we play the top of the 4th. A 2-2 ball game. The Yankees 2 runs on 2 hits. 2 runs on 4 hits for the Yankees, and 2 runs on 2 hits for the Blue Jays. Boston leading Baltimore 2-0 in the 2nd inning now. This is George Bell. Will the ball come back for Hasse? It will not. It's on the screen for strike. Bell's been up once and drove in a run with the sacrifice fly. Blue Jays scored both their runs in the 1st inning. Fernandez led off with a single up the middle on the first pitch. Mullenix got on an air charge to Randolph. Both runners balked over. There's an update. Boston 4 now. Baltimore nothing in the 2nd. Winfield robbed Mosby of an extra base hit. Bell got Fernandez in with a sacrifice fly, and Barfield singled to pass the shortstop Fishland for the other run for the Blue Jays. The Yankees tied it in their half of the 1st. Henderson hit by a pitch, a double by Griffey, a sacrifice fly by Mattingly, and an infield hit given to Mike Easler. No balls, 2 strikes here on George Bell. It's like they're trying to pitch him inside, Billy.
They are, Bill, and he got that a little bit out over the plate, but that's the spot to pitch him, keeping it on his hands. Once you get the ball out over the plate, he extends those arms of his, and that's when he has his power.
13 home runs this year for George Bell and 53 runs batted in. He's batting .323.
You can throw him breaking balls.
1 and 2.
Like that ball there. See, he already opened up on his body, and if the ball was over the plate, he'd have been called out in that pitch.
And fouled off.
Kind of a half swing, wasn't it, Bill, on that breaking ball?
It's like he's looking for the ball in, looking for the hard stuff in, and Tuke has thrown the last 2 breaking balls away. The count remains a ball and 2 strikes on Bell. Here it is.
Yep, there it is. It had nothing left, just his arms. That's excuse me, type of swing.
They're going to throw that fastball inside here. And it's pulled foul again. Still 1-2.
It looked like he tried to get that ball a little further inside to just kind of intimidate him in there and then maybe go outside with a breaking ball again on this next pitch. A lot of times you get hurt on that setup pitch.
Yeah, when you go in there, you better go in there about 90 and 95.
And then way inside.
Now it's 2-2 on George Bell.
What was that pitch, Bill? Was that a knuckleball?
A curveball took a lot off, I think, got in the dirt. Here it is again. Let's look at it.
I like this view right here. Yeah, it's a breaking ball down.
Right to Palirulo at third base. That hung up. Palirulo caught it. Well, there's one down.
Let's take a look at it again. Oh, yeah.
He's hanging there.
Right down the pipe.
That's not the curveball you want right there.
No.
Well, Jesse Barfield batting with 1 out, nobody on. Barfield single to center field, driving in Rance Mullenix in the first inning for the Blue Jays' second run of the ball game. We're tied at 2. Yankees 2, Blue Jays 2 in the fourth.
If you keep throwing curveballs like that, you're going to have to start counting your infielders.
That's a strike. Barfield batting .293, 19 home runs, 56 runs batted in. Palirulo, he's got time, and they're 2 outs.
Well, Bill, I think Barfield's got a good shot at making that all-star team, don't you?
Well, 19 home runs, 55 runs batted in.
You'd think so.
Yeah, Bell also. Bell's having a good year. But you know who's going?
Reggie Jackson.
The people who get the most votes. And I think last I looked, it was Winfield and Henderson and Jackson. Willie Upshaw takes a strike. Of course, Reggie's batting over 300 this year. And the fans like to see him. He's batting .319, 7 home runs, 27 runs batted in. Randolph throws out Upshaw, and that'll retire the side. 3 up, 3 down at the end of 3.5 innings of play. Yankees 2, Blue Jays 2. Participating advertisers in New York Yankee baseball are your Greater New York Pepsi-Cola bottlers, makers of Diet Pepsi, Slice, Mountain Dew, and Pepsi Free. Canon, so advanced, it's the world leader in 35mm photography. And by Burger King. This is a Burger King town. We know how burgers should be. Well, we're tied 2-2 playing the bottom of the fourth, and the Yankees will send up Dave Winfield, Mike Palirulo, and Willie Randolph against Dave Stieb.
Dave Winfield.
Last night, the Boston Red Sox gained the services of Tom Seaver in a trade that sent young outfielder Steve Lyons to the Chicago White Sox. That's been rumored all year, Billy, that Seaver wanted to move back east.
Well, I think George tried to get him for the Yankees, but they wanted too many of our young prospects and some of our starting pitchers we have up here right now.
Here's Winfield, forced a runner in the first. Let's see if this will come back for Whit. It will not. It's about 8 rows back. Strike 1 on Winfield.
That's what happens in a deal like that. A lot of people don't realize that, yes, you'd like to have a Seavers. You know he can help your ball club, but no, you don't want to give away all your top men to get him. You know that Seavers will be good for 1 or 2 years, but these other kids have a chance to be good for 5 to 10 years.
How about Steve Carlton?
Well, that's another question I'd like to know about him. I know he doesn't throw with the same velocity, but he has a good breaking ball. He holds men on base, and he's a veteran. He knows how to pitch.
1-1 on Winfield.
Wouldn't be a bad idea to take a chance on him or take a look at him anyway.
1 ball, 1 strike on Winfield. He's batting .226. Made a couple of good plays in the outfield in this ball game.
Sure has. Outstanding plays.
2-1.
Love to see that bat just starting to move a little bit, especially to right field. As you know, he can hit.
That's inside. 3 balls and a strike on Winfield. And ball 4, Winfield leads off the 4th by drawing a walk-off Stieb. Tried to sink that ball down and in on Winfield on the 3-1 pitch and missed with it. And that'll bring up Mike Pagliarulo, who struck out in the 2nd inning.
He was trying to pitch Dave inside, wasn't he?
Yeah. You know, Winfield's moved up closer to the plate lately, too. I'm not sure that sometimes you do things you don't realize what you're doing.
He's closed his stance also. Just a little bit.
Here's Pagliarulo. Base hit right field for Pagliarulo, and Winfield will go to 3rd. So Mike Pagliarulo singles past the first baseman Willie Upshaw. Upshaw had to hold Winfield on, and the Yankees are threatening to go ahead here in this ballgame.
That's the way to run those bases. When you're on first base, take a look and see where your outfielders are playing. And just as soon as the ball's hit, you don't have to look again. You already know, boom, 1st to 3rd, just like that. Beautiful base run.
There's Winfield digging around 2nd. Barfield's only play is into 2nd base. So the Yankees have runners at 1st and 3rd. There are no outs here in the 4th inning, and the batter's Willie Randolph, who's been up once and fly to right field. Randolph now batting .277. 1 home run. He hit that home run in Toronto, and he's driven in 30 runs. Ball 1. I don't think Stieb has the velocity that he's had over the last couple of years.
Yeah, I was just going to say the same thing. He's not popping the ball like he used to. It looks like he's aiming the ball a little bit. It's tailing off a little bit. You're correct.
1-1 on Randolph.
And relying on more breaking balls than he did in the past before he'd overpower you.
Yeah, he used to come right at you. Well, here, hit it. Here's my good fastball, my good hard slider.
And challenge it.
Yep. 1 ball, 1 strike on Randolph. Yankees have runners at 1st and 3rd, nobody out.
Now here's the situation if you're a base runner on either 3rd or 1st base. If you're on 1st base, you know if it's a line drive, you can't get to 3rd, so you can't get doubled off. If you're in 3rd base, you got to make the ball be through.
Back up the middle, that might be 2. There's 1, but Winfield will score, and the Yankees lead 3-2. So Randolph bounces into a 6-3 double play with Winfield scoring from 3rd base. And there are 2 outs.
Mike Fishland.
Mike Fishland's a batter. He got a looping single up the middle in the 2nd inning. The ball almost hit the bag, and the shortstop, Fernandez, couldn't grab it. Went under his glove, and it's a strike on Fishland. What problems infielders have on days like this at the stadium, Billy? A lot of light clothes being worn. Can you see well?
You can see well sometimes on ground balls through the middle of it. There are half of line shot like Bill, not a real good line shot. They're hard to pick up for some reason. You can't pick up the velocity of the ball. It used to be that if there's a bright sun right behind you, that's going to bother you a lot.
2 strikes on Fishland.
Of course, in the old days, George Weiss, who was a general manager, he didn't care about the hitters, and he used to always, with that black spot out there, he'd always let the people come out there on Sundays and double headers and fill it up. And he said, we used to complain about it. He said, well, the other team has to hit here, too, but they didn't have to hit here half the season.
We see how it looks to the infielders. 1-2.
Did he warn our pitcher before? I don't know.
No, he didn't warn him, no.
No, I'm glad he didn't, because that's the way you have to pitch in order to be effective up here. Sometimes maybe a little more inside.
No, you're not saying you ought to pitch inside, are you?
Oh, on occasion, I think just to get their attention, let them know that you're serious out there. It's men's work down there.
It's 2-2. Yankees are leading 3-2. We're in the 4th. Now it's 3 balls and 2 strikes on Fishman.
They're going to get mad at the manager anyway. They're going to say he's the one who told him to do it.
And ball 4, Fishman walks. Fishman's been up twice against Stieb, and both times Stieb has taken the count to 3-2. This time, after the single in the second inning, he walks Fishman. It's amazing. You bear down against a Winfield and a Mattingly and a Griffey, and then you let a little kid who's not going to hit you out. You go full on him.
Well, that's the things that drive managers up a wall, you know. And there's the guy you go after, and if he gets a base hit, he gets a base hit. But again, you can't defense against a walk. You can't catch a walk.
Dan.
That's it. That used to make me madder than anything, Bill.
Dan Pasqua batting for the first time. He went out to play left field, moving Griffey to center, replacing Henderson. So Pasqua is batting in the leadoff spot, and he takes the strike. Fishman's at first base, or 2 outs. One and one. Pasqua batting .297, 4 home runs, 10 runs batted in. He's only been up 74 times, has 22 base hits.
I like his bat. I just hope he gets it going. We need it.
Garcia waits for Stieb, and the side is retired. Yankees pick up a run on a hit, and they leave a man. And at the end of 4, the Yankees 3, the Blue Jays 2.
Yeah, nice.
Con Edison's Project Appleseed, promoting business, jobs, and economic growth in New York City and Westchester County. Project Appleseed, what a way to grow. Bill White along with Jim Cott here. We're in the 5th inning, and the Yankees now lead 3-2 over the Blue Jays, and Damaso Garcia will lead off against Bob Tewksbury. And the center field, Griffey gets there. Again, looked like he had some problems picking up that baseball.
Well, back in Toronto, we recall the outfielders not picking up the ball. And I think, as you know from playing, today is the kind of day that's the toughest day for outfielders and infielders, with all the light-colored shirts, and just a little tougher to see that ball, pick it up off the bat. Plus, Kenny's not used to playing center. I mean, he did in past years, but this year he's not played there very often. That gives you a different look.
Ernie Whitt, the catcher. He's been out once and fly to center. Whitt batting .210. He's had some back problems. 7 home runs, 24 runs batted in. And he'll do a little house cleaning here. Hot dog wrapper distracting to the hitter. 1 ball, no strikes. Two and 0. That's gone if it stays fair. That's an upper deck job. We've got a tie ball game. Ernie Whitt has just hit his 8th home run of the year, and we're tied at 3 here in the 5th.
Stood there at home plate, not really to show Tewksbury up, but obviously the way he hit that ball, he knew it was this question being fair or foul. And Tewksbury, throwing off-speed stuff to a lot of these hitters. That time just tried to get the ball inside. Obviously, he did not get it in far enough as you get a look at the swing.
So we're all tied now, 3 apiece. And the batter's Rick Leach. Leach takes a strike. He's been up once, bounced to Randolph at second base. It's only the 3rd base hit for the Blue Jays, but they've made them count. Of course, they were helped by an error and a balk in the 1st inning when they scored 2 of their 3 runs. 1 ball, 1 strike on Leach. He's batting .333, 2 home runs, 16 runs batted in. Tigers probably wish they had him back if they had known he was going to
he's
blossom.
Made a little comeback here.
Randolph. And there are 2 outs.
Well, the plays of the day so far for the Yankees, Bill, known for all their offense, the 2 great catches by Winfield, but one play I thought really was Griffey going from second to third on that fly ball to left field. You know, not very often a base runner advances from second to third on a fly ball to left, but he saw George Bell just kind of hesitate for a moment. He took advantage of it, and that produced the Yankees' second run in that first inning.
Tony Fernandez singled and scored in the first, grounded to second. And through Mattingly. That doesn't normally happen. And Don Mattingly will get an error.
Boy, it is a shock when he makes an error, but that's an example. There you watch him a little bit back on his heels. Didn't really charge that ball. I think most of the errors we've seen the Yankee infielders make this year have been a result of the same thing, that they have not been quite as aggressive as when they make the good plays.
That ball went under his glove, so they're an error on Don Mattingly. And with 2 outs, the batter now is Rance Mullenix. Mullenix has gotten on an error by Randolph and scored, and Winfield robbed him of at least a double or triple back in the third. I'm not sure that would have been a home run. It was high off the wall. Winfield climbed up and made the catch in right field.
Also, well, he has that ability, of course, going back to the days when he was an outstanding basketball player. I watched him play basketball at the University of Minnesota. That's the way he catches those balls, like he's going up for a rebound.
Also robbed Mosby in the first. Dave Winfield. Fernandez has stolen 13 bases this year. He's been caught 7 times. Tewksbury wants to keep him close. There are 2 outs. Strike 1. Mullenix batting .271.
I like that. I'd rather see the pitchers do that more often than repeating the throw over to first base. See right there, it does a little something different. Maybe you hold the ball for a longer period of time, or quick pitch it. Anything to destroy the runner's timing as opposed to just constantly throwing over to first base with the same rhythm.
Well, that's wide, 1-1. A little tougher to steal off a guy like Tewksbury who doesn't take the ball down to the belt. He stops up around the chest area.
I'm trying to think of who started that, what organization. I know Catfish used to do it, kind of hold the ball up around his letters as opposed to at the buckle. But there was one organization that began to teach their pitchers to do that, to stop up here, so they would keep the base runner from getting quite the extra jump.
And to left field, Dan Pasqua is out there with the glasses down, and the side is retired. 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error, 1 man left on base. Going to the bottom half of the 5th inning, we're tied. The Yankees 3, the Blue Jays 3. Let's pause for station identification.
Well, here's the all-star lineup for Thursday night, July 3rd. The Yankees host the Tigers in a 6 p.m. game, and then following the game, Thornapple Valley Hot Dogs presents the Grucci Family Fireworks Show. And after that, a music concert featuring Fats Domino and Jerry Lee Lewis. So a triple header, game, fireworks, and concert, July 3rd, 6 o'clock. 3-3 tie here between the Blue Jays and the Yankees. Ernie Witt just tied it for the Jays with his 8th home run of the year. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. Ken Griffey will lead it off against Dave Stieb. Bill?
All right, Jim.
On the street level, Louise Bernard.
It's a bird, it's a plane, it's a bird and a plane.
Griffey has doubled and scored, bounced to first, and takes the ball high from Dave Stieb. Griffey
well,
has...
Excuse me, Bill. Go ahead.
Into right center. Mosby. Looks like he has room there on the warning track, and there's one down.
I saw you pick up the press release, and I said the speculation now has finally come to a rest about Tom Seaver as the deal is completed, and I guess it's not much of a surprise to anybody.
Well, I'm sure they knew that Seaver was going to come east. A lot of people felt he might come here, and I think Tom kept pressuring Ken Harrelson and the Chicago White Sox to make a deal for him, to get him closer to home. Don Mattingly, he has hit now in 10 straight games. He has driven in a run with a sacrifice and a base hit off the leg of the first baseman, Willie Upshaw. One strike on Mattingly. He's up to 342 now. One and one.
How about that? That looked like a little bit of a changeup or a screwball. You don't see Stieb throw those off-speed pitches too often.
We mentioned earlier, Jim, that there's some thought that he might be working with a little tender elbow. Slice to left field, and that's George Bell. And there are two outs.
That would be understandable, because as hard as he throws that slider, and of course he has not been a pitcher his whole life. He was a third baseman, I believe, for a while, and picked up pitching rather late relative to some kids pitch from the time they're 10, 11, 12 years old. That's all they do is pitch. As a result, he doesn't have quite the mechanics that a lot of pitchers do, and he puts a lot more strain on his elbow with that hard slider.
Mike Easler has singled in a run, and he's bounced to a second. He's 1 for 2 in the game. He's batting .336. That's foul. Hit him on the foot as it goes to first base. 1 and 1 on Easler.
Most of the people in the Toronto organization you talk to, Tony Kubek, broadcasters, coaches, say that his last real powerful game was that first game of the '85 playoffs when he beat the Royals 5-1, went 9 innings. Now, he did go 6 innings in the 4th game, and then he went into the 5th inning, I believe, of the 7th game. But that first game of the playoffs was his last real dominant game.
As I remember, it was chilly up there during that series in Toronto. It's also a little chilly in Kansas City. We had rain out there, but it was cold in Toronto.
Well, maybe that's where he injured that elbow. Could be.
Still 1 and 2 on Easler.
Plus, I think psychologically, I mean, no one knows other than Dave Stieb really how his arm feels, unless he chooses to enlighten everyone. But psychologically, I think that entire series took a lot out of that ball club.
Well, Steve's a battler. This is playable. The right fielder over there, that's Jesse Barfield, in right center for the 3rd out. 3 up and 3 down at the end of 5. The Yankees and the Blue Jays tied 3-3.
Five complete, 3-3 tie. Tewksbury and Stieb, both starters, are still on the mound for their respective ball clubs, and leading it off for the Blue Jays in the top of the 6th, Lloyd Mosby. Bill?
Mosby's 0 for 2 in the ball game. He's fly to right field, fly to center. Winfield had to leap high on the wall to grab his fly ball in the 1st inning, and he chased Ricky Henderson deep toward the wall at the 410 mark for the fly ball in the 3rd. And that's a ball.
Finished the last inning by talking about the psychological effect of losing the playoffs to Toronto. Toronto, of course, losing to Kansas City. And one of the things you mentioned, that Stieb is such a battler, you wonder whether he may be trying to do more. Some players will fall into that category where they take on more of a load than they're capable.
That's a foul ball off first base.
I saw that firsthand in 1965 when I was with the Minnesota Twins. We won the pennant. Most of us thought Tony Oliva should have gotten the MVP. Not that Zoilo Versailles did not have a good year. He had an outstanding year for a shortstop, offense and defensively. He got the MVP, and the next year was the start of the downfall of his career because he tried to carry the whole ball club. He wasn't capable of doing that.
2-1. That'll fall in front of Griffey. Base hit. Unfortunately, Rizzuto had to, I understand, sell his MVP award.
He went through some very tough times financially and physically in Minnesota, where he still resides. I'm looking forward to seeing him up there at our silver anniversary weekend here in about another month. But he is back on his feet now and doing quite well.
Good. George Bell has lined to third, driven in a run with the sacrifice fly. We're tied at 3. Mosby at first base, nobody out in the 6th inning. Mosby, an excellent base runner. He has stolen 19 bases this year. I've been trying to pitch Bell in close and tie him up inside. Looks like that's where you have to pitch him.
But as I heard you and Billy mention when Billy was on in the 3rd and 4th, when you pitch a guy inside like that, as quick as Bell is, you, number one, have to have a lot on it. Number two, you've got to really make sure it's inside. Similar to the pitch Tewksbury tried to throw to Witt. Witt not as quick as Bell, but if you don't get a lot on that ball inside, these guys turn on it in a hurry.
Well, Baltimore's picked up a run. Boston now leading 4-1. Game in the 5th inning. That missed inside, 1-1.
See what he did right there, Tewksbury. Almost quick pitch. That was closer to a balk than the balk they called on him in the 1st inning, because he really did not stop, and that's what a pitcher has to do, try to vary his delivery to the plate. Keep that base runner confused.
We're still trying to figure out what he did to balk back in that 1st inning.
Yeah, he moved his glove so slightly, but as Billy pointed out, you're allowed to use your glove to brush the sign off, to shake it off by brushing down your pant leg. That is not a balk. Only when you start the pitching motion and then stop would it be a balk.
Pulled foul into the seats behind 3rd base. It flew into those seats. It's 1-2. We had glove day here yesterday, or midday they call it here in New York. Hope someone might have had a glove down there.
If they didn't, they got a sore hand. That ball was smoked. I see now why you got to have something on it when you pitch this guy inside.
He gets out front in there. But that's about the only thing you can do with that pitch, is pull it foul.
Yeah.
Probably come back here with a breaking ball. And it's fouled back.
Well, that's one of the fun parts of pitching, is to analyze what the hitter does with the ball and where he hits it. In other words, if George Bell was constantly fouling Tewksbury's fastball off down the right field side, he was late on it, then he wouldn't go to the breaking ball like you mentioned. But because he's way out in front of his fastball, then you say, okay, if you're way out in front of that, I'm going to give you something slower, which he did.
1-2. 2-2. Bell stands close to the plate.
You subscribe to that theory. Most guys that stand close to the plate like the ball
in on them.
Yeah. Most guys that stand away, they stand away because they like the ball away from them.
That will be 2. Fishland with a fine play. He danced on top of second base and got it to Madley in time for a 6-6-3 double play.
Wow, there, Mike Fishland takes charge. That's where second baseman, shortstop have to really communicate on a play like that. And, of course, Randolph will allow Fishland to cut in front of him because his momentum is going toward first base. Willie was just back there as a safety valve in case Fishland couldn't get the ball.
So there are 2 outs, and the batter now is Jesse Barfield. Barfield has singled in a run, and he's bounced to third. He's 1 for 2. Two and 0. Yankees have made a couple of errors in the ball game. One by Randolph in the first, the other by Mattingly in the 5th. I think Mattingly's error surprised everybody. He's normally perfect there at first base. It's only his 4th error this year. Yankees have now bobbled the ball 74 times. Pagliarulo. And the side is retired. No runs, a base hit, nobody left on base. We're going to the bottom of the 6th. It's tied. The Yankees 3, the Blue Jays 3.
There's an interesting observer at today's ball game.
Donde va?
I think he's seated out behind the bullpen in left center field.
No, in left. That's right by the escalators there.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And there's a look at the crowd here today at Yankee Stadium witnessing a 3-3 tie.
It's a pretty park, isn't it?
It really is. Although I have to admit, I still have a spot in my heart for the old ball. I like Fenway, and I like this park before. Not that it isn't nice the way it's redone. I still liked it when I first walked in here, and it had that kind of, I was kind of in awe the same way when I first took a step onto Augusta National, where they play the Masters. Those old places have something special about them. Here's Hasse to lead it off against Stieb, bottom of the 6th, 3-3 tie.
Hasse has struck out, bounced out, 0 for 2 in the game. He'll be followed by Dave Winfield and then Mike Pagliarulo. Ball 1.
You see Steve fidgeting with that arm right there. That's a sign of one of 2 things. His arm's bothering him. He doesn't like the way he's throwing the ball.
Straight away center field. Mosby misjudged the ball. And Hasse now is going to better stay at second base. Hasse just tripled into a double. No, he's working on a bad sore knee. He's got a very, very sore knee. We kid Ron about his speed all the time. Let's watch it again. No, Mosby has the problem picking this ball up.
He does, and he, you see, he's running straight back on the ball. That's where you appreciate the way Winfield approaches those kind of fly balls. He approaches them from the side, where he can get to the side of the ball. Of course, that's not as easy for a center fielder to do.
Well, he should have been really hustling back instead of just taking his time going back. He's trying to judge the ball and just catch it instead of hustling back and getting there. Of course, we mentioned he had some problems picking it up. So Hasse's down at second base with a leadoff double in the 6th, and that'll bring up Dave Winfield, who was forced to run and walked and scored. Curveball for a strike. We saw earlier in the ball game, in fact, we're talking to Billy Martin, where the Yankees have not really hit in this situation. They're hitting close to 200 with men in scoring position against the Blue Jays.
Similar to their defense. You know, today Willie Randolph makes 2 outstanding plays, but yet the one play that he didn't make ends up costing the Yankees 2 runs. The same way with their hitting. The Yankees leading the league in hitting, scoring a lot of runs, but yet, as you mentioned, and Billy pointed out also, they have left an awful lot of runners on base and in scoring position. See here, even though Winfield is a power hitter, from a fundamental standpoint, I really like to see a guy be able to go to right field in this situation and advance the runner, start manufacturing some runs.
That's a base hit, and Hasse's going to have to hold at third base. Ron had to hold up to make sure the ball got past Fernandez, and so Winfield picks up a base hit. Hasse's now over third, still nobody out. Mike Pagliarulo's the batter.
Well, he got out in front of the ball and did pull it, but he got it to the left of Fernandez. See, if Fernandez is able to come up with that ball, obviously Hasse would not be able to advance. But of course, that's one of the, I think, things that managers and players as well throw back and forth. When you got a power hitter up there, do you want him to give up a little of his power and go the other way, or do you want him to pull the ball, as Winfield did right there? That particular case worked out well for the Yankees. And there is left-hander John Cerruti. He's scheduled to start Tuesday night for the Blue Jays, but warming up in the bullpen right now.
See Butch Weiniger coming in. He might pinch hit for Fishland should they get down that far. And then Butch will probably go in the ball game and catch. Of course, if they were going to do that, they'd probably have somebody run for Hasse. But the Yankees, with 11 pitchers, they don't have that many extra men.
Only got 4 men to play with there. Berra, Renicky, Weiniger, and Pasqua's in the lineup already.
Strike one on Pagliarulo. He went after a bad breaking ball. Pags has struck out and singled. His single in the 4th sent Winfield to 3rd, and Winfield scored as Randolph bounced into a double play. That gave the Yankees a 3-2 lead. But then the Blue Jays got the home run from Ernie Whitt, their catcher, tied at 3, and that's where we are now. 2 strikes on Pagliarulo. 2 good pitches by Stieb.
Well, most of the top pitchers in the league, the reason they are at the top is they have the ability to make the pitcher's pitches in this situation right here, scoring position.
Three pitches, the same place, down and in. That's where they're trying to pitch Pagliarulo. It's amazing. You go along and you pitch guys differently. But certainly, but then when you get men on base, you go right to the weakness and stay there. Runners at 1st and 3rd, nobody out. He's throwing him 4 straight sliders now, down and in. He's missed with 2 of them, and he got 2 of them for strikes.
Of course, that down and in zone, if it's above the knees, is very dangerous from Steve's standpoint, but he's trying to get Pags to go after a pitch way down and in the dirt. And this is what the pitchers' meetings, I think, are all about. Teams have these meetings before a game where they go over the hitters, and oftentimes young pitchers get in a habit of attacking these weaknesses right off the bat from pitch 1. Most of the pitchers will tell you this is when they want to begin to attack the weakness, as you were mentioning.
Did he get a piece of it? But it was held by Ernie Whitt, and it's a strikeout. Now they're going to ask the 3rd base umpire if the ball were caught cleanly, and it evidently was caught cleanly. Al Clark helping John Shulock. And there's one down. The home plate umpire, John Shulock, didn't realize that the ball was caught cleanly by Ernie Whitt. We can see there that it was.
Well, that's the advantage of that one-handed catcher's glove that the catchers use now. As Bill was talking about, had he bobbled that ball, of course, or trapped it, then it'd have gone as a foul ball and not a strikeout.
Well, runners at 1st and 3rd. Now there's one out for Willie Randolph, who's flied to right and bounced into a double play. And a good stop by Ernie Whitt. Hasse has to hustle back to 3rd.
Boy, that's from a pitcher's standpoint, as you get a close-up there of Ernie Whitt, and now look at him blocking the pitch. That gives you a lot of confidence, too, as a pitcher. If you know you got a catcher back there that can block the low pitches on the breaking pitches, you're not so concerned about throwing one down in the dirt with a man on 3rd base.
And he's throwing the breaking pitch. He wants the ground ball.
See, if you've had a catcher that has let a couple of those get underneath him, then in this situation you say, well, I'm not too comfortable about really busting it off in the dirt. You end up hanging it, and the guy hits it in the gap.
Hasse's at 3rd base. Winfield is at 1st. There is one down. And we've got a tie score in the bottom of the 6th. Dave Stieb pitching to Willie Randolph. One and one. Lou Piniella.
This is where Billy, of course, you got a guy with Hasse's speed down there at 3rd. It's not easy to do. Billy used to like to have the right-hand hitter push the ball towards second base right here. Push bunt.
Winfield, you don't want to get picked off here.
That does two things. It eliminates the double play, and if you've got some speed at third base, it'll get you a run. With Hasse, it would obviously take a perfect bunt.
Winfield with a big lead. There's Hasse at third. Winfield with a big lead at first base. I wonder what he's thinking about or trying to do here. Unless he wants to steal second base, or maybe get down there in case of a ground ball to take somebody down to prevent the double play. He has a big lead at first, and Stieb has an excellent move. And I think Joe Altobelli went over and said, hey, stay a little bit closer. Don't get picked off here. You might run us out of an inning.
Yeah, sometimes you create less attention as a base runner by just taking a comfortable lead off and then breaking with the pitch. Get a little quicker start with the pitch.
He's cut his lead down maybe a half step. Out of play, upper deck right side. 1-2 on Randolph.
And of course, one of the other reasons that Winfield would like to get a good jump off first base would be in case of a ground ball. He is known as a base runner that will go into second base rather hard, and he can prevent the Blue Jays from turning the double play on a ground ball. That would end up getting the Yankees a run home.
That was Jimmy Williams, the manager of the Blue Jays. He took over for Bobby Cox when Cox took the job as general manager of the Atlanta Braves. Bobby's from Marietta, Georgia. He wanted to be closer to home. 1-2 on Randolph. Still 1-2. Altobelli will field it at first base.
Well, and Bobby Cox has got to be pretty happy with the way things have gone for he and Chuck Tanner and the Braves down in Atlanta so far this year. They're 3.5 games back and over 700,000 plus in attendance, so everything is much more positive in Atlanta this year than it was for the last couple of years.
Al Widmar sitting next to Jimmy Williams. Widmar's the pitching coach. He had the glasses on. 1-2 is the count. Still 1-2. Randolph fought off a pitch inside.
I don't know if it's my imagination, Bill, from here, but we talked about how Stieb is rumored to have trouble with his elbow and not popping the ball quite as hard as he did the last couple of years, which you've seen a lot of him. But with men on first and third and no outs, he has really seemed like he's got a little extra on those pitches in this situation, which most of the good ones do.
His ball moves well. Score is tied 3-3. Lanier with a bat. Should they get down to Fishland, Butch would probably bat for Fishland. Depends on what Randolph does here. Runners at first and third, one down. Hasse's at third. Winfield's at first. That's foul. He's keeping the ball in on Randolph. I think he's turning the ball over, and it's really sailing in on Randolph. Trying to tie him up inside. A couple of check swings, and that one was inside.
Well, with Upshaw holding Winfield at first, Willie's got a big hole over there to shoot at, and he is very good at going to right field. We've mentioned in previous games he actually has more power to the opposite field than he does when he pulls the ball. So Stieb, to counteract that, is trying to run that ball in on his hands and keep him from going to right field.
1-2 the count. Randolph, 1 home run, 30 runs batted in this year. 2-2. That just missed. Stieb looking in at home plate umpire John Shulock. Well, the count is 3-2 now. They'll probably move Winfield to stay away from the double play. Spinella flashing signs for his third base coach, Don Zimmer. Three and two on Randolph. Winfield's going, and it's a double play. He will be tagged by Fernandez, and the side is retired. No runs, 2 hits, 1 man left on base. At the end of 6, Yankees 3, Toronto 3 on the Eastern Airlines scoreboard.
All right, back at the stadium, 3-3 tie. Going to the top of the 7th inning. Bob Tewksbury still on the mound for the Yankees, and Dave Stieb, who just worked out of a 1st and 3rd no-out jam, still on the mound for the Blue Jays. So the pitchers have been in control. There's Willie Upshaw, who will start things off here for the Jays in the top of the 7th. And Tewksbury starts him off with a slow curveball, catches the outside corner. Strike 1 on Upshaw. Fastball misses up out of the strike zone, and here to carry along after that 1-1 count, the Scooter's back in business.
No, not really. I'm very disappointed that last inning. The way it happened, that double play, Willie hit the ball right on the nose.
Can't steer it once it leaves that bat.
No.
That's why Abner put those guys in those positions.
Isn't that something?
Play them straight away. Forget all those shifts.
Yeah, that's right. That computer, forget it.
I got a question to ask you about that play. As a shortstop, Winfield was running with the pitch.
Yes.
Randolph's the hitter, hits the ball to right field. Why wasn't Fernandez covering second base?
Oh, no, with Randolph.
Do you lay back in that situation?
No, you're right. Normally, either Fernandez missed him going. There's a bouncer up the middle. Oh, nice play by Fishland, who's made some pretty plays today. 1 man out.
No, I was thinking as an infielder there that the shortstop would be kind of going towards second.
Well, now wait a minute. You remember I have told you that Joe McCarthy's theory as we look at that play again looked like a sure base hit to him.
Yeah, he's made some gems there.
Yeah. Willie slipped. You see that? He has had problem with the spikes. I think we got to get him longer spikes. But no, Joe McCarthy used to say, and he made us practice it and do it in the game, not to leave as soon as that guy breaks. There's a bouncer, and they're going to have to hurry. You can't make the play. It's a base hit. His only chance was to let it go, and it might have kicked foul, but you never know.
Well, as you mentioned, you see the breaking ball right there, bounces off the plate. You mentioned Willie lost his footing. Looks like Tewksbury begins to lose his balance there just a little bit.
Yeah.
It's the only way he could have made the play.
Yes.
It's a do-or-die play. You try to pick it up on the run and throw it immediately.
All
right, getting back to that thing with Fernandez over there, whether he was able to do that, use enough control to wait until McCarthy said, Joe McCarthy would say, wait till the ball goes by the batter. If that guy's running, I don't want to leave that big hole for a guy to get a base hit. And we look at the bullpen.
That's Holland and Fisher.
Okay. So anyway, Fernandez did not break, and whether he didn't see Winfield going or he waited, it turned out to be the smart thing, because if he does break the way he's supposed to, Willie being a right field hitter, that ball's right through there for a base hit.
Well, the other thing I thought maybe their thinking was, we will let Winfield steal second. We're going to hold our positions. If Randolph strikes out, you know, we're going to go ahead and let him steal, not commit ourselves. I didn't know what infielders' thinking would be on that.
All right, well, that's your job tomorrow to find out, Cott. You thought of it, so you've got to ask the manager and the shortstop. Can you speak Spanish?
What man could I ask than a former shortstop?
Yeah, but I know how I think, but they don't think the way I do. Like White, he doesn't think the way I do. Oh, ripped a base hit to right field. Oh, wow, look at this gun. He was offline, he'd have made it, but when they think twice, and as fast as Garcia is, you know they respect his arm, Jim.
Yeah, he just made that little bluff turn to draw the throw from Winfield in hopes that he would make an errant throw. A lot of people ask why Dave Winfield, because there's a lot more ground to cover in left in Yankee Stadium, why he doesn't play left instead of right. That's one of the reasons.
Yes.
Is that he can keep a lot of base runners from going to first and third. A lot of times he doesn't even have to make the throw. He just, because of the reputation of his arm, they will not run to third base.
That's exactly what happened right there. All right, Rick Leach, 0 for 2. Grounded out twice, both times to Willie Randolph. One man out. 3-3 ball game, and bounce to Willie Randolph again, and he'll make the sure play at first. He hit it right off the end of the bat. So 3 times he has bounced out. Second and third, 2 men out.
Shortstop, Tony Fernandez.
Boy, he got a slow break from home, didn't he, on that? Took a full cut and couldn't break off home plate. All right, now Fernandez, who's been a tough man for the Yankees. Singled and scored. Thrown out on a nice play by Willie Randolph, and then reached on an error. 3-3 in the top of the 7th. Just missed inside. Ground ball, Willie's there, and throws him out. And Tewksbury does it again. Boy, Jim, you got to admire that kid. Hasn't walked anybody or struck anybody out.
And a high percentage of ground balls.
Yes, sir. At the end of 6½, it's Toronto 3, the Yankees 3, and now let's pause for station identification.
Well, get set for some explosive action when the Yankees close out their current homestand, 4-game series against the Tigers. Tigers right now one of the hottest teams in baseball, and the series will start tomorrow night. It'll continue through Thursday. Of course, that special start time Thursday, 6 p.m. with the fireworks and Fats Domino and Jerry Lee Lewis. Toronto, after getting 6 very effective innings from Dave Stieb, he had to work out of that jam in the 6th with first and third, nobody out. And Jimmy Williams has decided that he has had enough, and he's going to left-hander John Cerruti. Of course, one of the reasons that he would make that move right now is that when he gets around to the top of the Yankee lineup, Ricky Henderson, in case you joined us late, had to be replaced after being hit on the elbow by a pitch ball. And Dan Pasqua is now on the leadoff spot, then Ken Griffey, then Don Mattingly, then Mike Easler, Ron Hasse. So once Cerruti gets by Mike Fischlin, he will have a steady diet of left-handed hitters, and he'll either force Lou Piniella to go to Berra or Renicky, or give Jimmy Williams the percentage of left against left, Scooter.
All right, very good thought, Jim. The manager's got to look ahead, and pitching coaches. So Mike Fischlin had an infield hit and walk. And that's got to be a little more of a confidence builder for Dave Stieb, who has had his problems this year. 3-3 ball game. Foul out of play, strike one. Cerruti has been in this series. He relieved in one game. And he had been starting too, hadn't he, Jim?
Well, he was a starter. He's scheduled to start Tuesday night against the Red Sox.
Outside, at one time, they had gone out and gotten Bill Cordell. Oh, look at this. That's contentment, boy. He doesn't care what the score is. But anyway, they got Cordell. They got that kid from the Giants. Who was it, Lavelle?
Gary Lavelle.
Gary Lavelle. Oh, look at that. Wait a minute. Who's stroking that hair? Oh, that's her husband. Foul out of play, 2-2.
Yeah, Lavelle, of course, is out for the season with that elbow injury, and they've been hurt by a lack of a left-hander in the bullpen. They just called up Steve Davis. They sent that right-hander Don Gordon that the Yankees roughed up pretty good up in Toronto. They sent him back to Syracuse. So it wouldn't surprise me now if Cerruti, who has a little more experience, Jimmy Williams will use him out of the bullpen, and he might start Steve Davis, the left-hander, in his place.
Could be. All right, 2-2 on Fish, and a fly ball center field. Mosby holds it in, 1 man out.
You mentioned, Scooter, how Bob Tewksbury, what a job he had done, and he has very quietly. If there was ever a game that there's a lot of pressure on a starting pitcher for the Yankees, it would be today. I mean, there they sent Guidry and Niekro, their 2 experienced pitchers.
Yeah.
And Drayback going back to the Boston series, none of the starters really got through the 2nd inning, and everybody's talking about, as Billy said in the pregame show, when we're going to get a pitcher that will go 6 or 7 and keep the team in the ball game and give Piniella a little chance to maneuver. So Tewksbury has done exactly that.
He has done that, absolutely. Pasqua takes a pitch low. Danny, who took over for Ricky Henderson, who was hitting the elbow his first time at bat, he stayed in the game, batted again, flied out. You could tell he couldn't swing the bat, though. So they took him out, and Pasqua bounced out to second base. Jim Acker and Doyle Alexander foul back on the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Alexander is probably just throwing because he is, of course, one of the Toronto starters. And but he is a guy that likes to do a lot of throwing. I think that's one reason he's lasted so long.
Very true.
It'll rust out before it'll wear out.
2 balls, 2 strikes. That Johnny Sane?
Yep.
I know. I saw. The reason I happened to mention that I was watching the Atlanta game last night. There's old John Sane there standing next to Chuck Tanner.
Yeah, I saw the same game. They were having a good time, weren't
they? Yes, they were. Bouncer and off there. That's going to be a base hit. Oh, what a play by Garcia. Holy cow, he played a little highlight in his day. Did you see that?
Must have been a handball player.
Yep. Oh, that was quick thinking.
Well, he has shown, you know, the ball that he bobbled earlier in the ball game, that took some reflexes to recover. Now watch this play. This is strictly reflex action right here.
Look, oh, that was pretty. Even though it hurt the Yankees, that was pretty to watch. Off the pitcher's glove, and he had to reverse his field.
That's the only way he could. If he grabs that ball and tries to throw it, there's no way he gets it.
All right. Griffey swings and misses a curveball, strike 1. Griffey doubled and scored in the first inning, bounced to first and fly deep to center. 2 out. 3-3 here in the bottom of the 7th. Low 1-1. Base hit up the middle. Oh, Griffey went with that right straight up the middle. First hit off Cerruti, and now Don Mattingly.
First baseman
against Griffey, the percentage doesn't really mean that much because from all the days he played every day, going back to his days with Cincinnati, he faced a lot of left-handers and was very good at hitting left-handers.
Yeah, he doesn't embarrass himself batting left-handed. Mattingly now is having problems, Jim, with that little finger on the left hand. You can see when he hits one off the end of the bat how much it hurts him. But he has hit a long sacrifice fly, singled off the leg of Upshur, and flied to left. Ball 1.
Yeah, I think there's a few players that if they were in Don Mattingly's shoes today when they came to the ballpark might have put the sunglasses on, taken a comfortable seat in the corner of the dugout.
Absolutely. But you like guys like Mattingly and Winfield, even though he's not hitting, that want to play, come out and play. Oh, look at that. That's
Maradona must have done it again.
I wonder. He has been short of sensational.
You know what number he wears, don't you?
No.
10.
You got to be kidding.
Yeah.
Built like me, too. I heard 5'5", quick, had all the women. Another base hit up the middle. Griffey will go to third. All right, back-to-back 2-out singles. And both left-hand hitters. That infield is hard. That ball going through there like artificial surface.
Well, both hits went in the same place. I mean, Jimmy Williams playing the percentage by having Cerruti in there against Griffey and Mattingly. That cuts down their chances of pulling the ball for a home run, but they each got the bat on the ball for base hits. Now, of course, Williams is hoping maybe he could have forced Piniella to run Gary Renicky up there in this situation. He could make a move, but with Tom Hinkie down there in that Toronto bullpen, I'm sure Lou wants to keep all the left-hand bats in that lineup he can.
That's for sure. All right, Eastler's single to drive in a run, bounce to second, fly to right. 2 out, 2 on. Foul upstairs, out of play. There's Sweet Lou.
Yeah, I thought of that when I saw Maradona's picture in the paper wearing that number 10. I said, look, just like the Scooter.
All right. He is, boy. I tell you, I never saw a guy hit a grand slam get more excited than these soccer players when they score a goal. You try to, their own men can't catch them. They go bananas. High fly to left, playable by Bell. And he makes the catch. Those outfielders ever drop routine flies? No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 men left. At the end of 7, it's still Toronto 3 and the Yankees 3.
Baseman, Max
3-3 tie after 7 as the Yankees in the 6th and the 7th put runners at the corner. In the 6th with nobody out, in the 7th with 2 out. Neither time could they get the run home. So it remains a 3-3 tie. Bob Tewksbury all the way for the Yanks. And at the top of the 8th, he'll face third baseman Rance Mullinick. Scooter?
All right, Jim Mullinick reached on an error in the first inning and scored. Fly to right again. Winfield making a great catch, and then fly to left. 0 for 3. So Tewksbury in his 8th inning of pitching. Time is called. Beach ball. Yeah, Baltimore's coming back a little bit.
I thought we'd left Boston. Isn't that the town where...
Oh, the beach, that's right. That's where all the beach balls. Yeah.
Over the center field wall.
You don't usually see it here at the stadium. But I started to say, at least they were leading 4-0 Boston over Baltimore. Now it's 4-2. Low. They had an interesting clip in the paper today. I forget which paper it was. I think it was the News about big leads that were lost late in the year by teams that should have won the pennant. And, of course, the Red Sox were won that great year of '78 when Yankees came from 14 games behind. Base hit, ripped to right field. And, again, Tewksbury got that ball up, Jim.
Well, see, his fastball is not a blazing fastball.
Right.
It's good, but it's not the kind that he can come inside pitch after pitch. Now, we saw Witt hurt him twice today on pitches inside. Plus, that ball really is not, by the time Mullinick steps into it, that ball's really out over the middle of the plate. I'm sure he wanted it in.
We got Shepard running now for Mullinick.
Because Jimmy Williams knows if Mullinick's spot in the order comes back around again, chances are Righetti or Holland would be on the scene by then, and he'd have Garth Orge, who will undoubtedly go into play third base.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen.
All right, here's Mosby, and now Mattingly's going to go over and talk. We've got double barrel action now in the Yankee bullpen.
Shepard, number 21.
And John Shulock will come out, and he knows Mattingly's stalling a little bit. And now Pinella's coming out, Jim.
I was going to say, you think they'll bunt with Mosby?
No.
I don't either. Got Holland and Fisher out there. If they would bunt, you got the right-handed Bell and Barfield, but the way those guys hit, it really doesn't make a difference if you throw right or left.
That's right.
Sometimes a manager, if the other team sacrifices, you will walk a man and just say, well, I will eliminate having to face both of them. This way I only have to face one of them.
True, very true. You know, this is a move I bet that's been a dilemma to Lou Piniella. Lou has been very quick to take out his starting pitchers when they get in trouble late in the ball game. And I think it's backfired on him several times, and he's going to go a little longer. I think Tewksbury deserves it. It doesn't look like he's tiring. Just got that pitch in a bad spot. I hope Lou doesn't have to explain why he didn't take him out to the fans.
Yeah, he hasn't. The Yankees really have not built up what I'd call a pattern. You'll see some teams get in a pattern where their starters go 6. They have a dependable middleman that goes 1 or 2, and then like the Red Sox do with Sambito and Stanley.
Right.
But the Yankees have not gotten enough consistency to build up that kind of pattern where Lou has enough confidence in that.
Right. All right, no count on Mosby. Ball one.
Plus, he may have, in case there was any doubt in Pinella's or in Tewksbury's mind whether Mosby was going to bunt, Lou might have just wanted to go out there and say, hey, don't think for a minute that this guy's going to try to bunt. That was a look at today's attendance there, 35,437.
Back easily is Shepard. No indication of just how fast Shepard is. He has not tried to steal a base this year. He's used mostly as a pinch runner, late inning replacement in the outfield. Oh, good off-speed breaking pitch. And as long as he keeps it down there, although Mosby has hit a home run on one of those curves down low.
Well, he's got him out front far enough. He's with this guy, you've either got to get the fastball with something on it up and in, or that off-speed pitch to make him chase it out in front of the plate.
Well,
anything in between those zones, he's pretty dangerous.
Right. All right, he had him out front, as you said, Jim, that first one. Now let's keeping an eye on Shepard. Mattingly holding him close. Outside, quick flip to first. Oh, boy. I tell you, Massey just reminds me so much of Roy Campanella on that particular play. That's the only thing he reminds me of Campion.
Well, flipping the ball behind the hitter like that, accurately? Accurately,
from a kneeling position. That Campy got a lot of guys. You see him, he doesn't get up, and the guy in first can't really see all the catcher. If he's not on the ball, he can be picked off. But 2 balls and a strike. Oh, high and tight. He almost fell right into that one. 3-1.
You remember Earl Batty?
Oh, yes.
Did
he do that?
He was good at that also. From a sitting position, he could flip the ball to first or third. But you don't see that. You don't see many guys.
No. All right, let's see if Shepard will be going on this pitch. 3-1. And we told you that Tewksbury has not walked anybody. Another throw to first. Nobody out. He didn't go on his swing. And did he take a little off that pitch?
He did. That was a changeup.
Wow. I tell you, that kid's got some moxie. I'll tell you that. 3-1 changeup.
Watch, he's way out in front of that ball.
Sure.
That big long swing.
Now, let's see. Got to go this time. Full count. He didn't go, and he curved. Oh, I tell you, Mosby could not have swung at that pitch if it was right down the middle, Jim. He was fooled.
That was a good-looking pitch right there.
Yeah, that's going to be all, unfortunately, for Tewks.
Yeah, I think Hassey was beginning to come up because he wanted to guard against Shepard running, but
if he'd have stayed down, that could have been called a strike, I thought.
Yeah.
And Shepard wasn't even going. I mean, he must be a bad base runner. He might have speed, but I don't think he's a good base runner. He didn't even try.
And while the pitching change is being made, we'll take time out along the Yankee Baseball Network for the following message. Well, Brian Fisher will get a chance for a little reprieve here against the Blue Jays. There you get a look at Brian's numbers so far this year. Prior to Friday night's game, since coming back from Columbus in his the 2 outings prior to the Friday night's game, in 5 2/3 innings, he had gone. Actually, his last 6 games, he had gone 8 1/3 innings with a record of 2-0. Had not failed in any save opportunities. Friday night he came in, and after the bobble by Pagliarulo, gave up a 3-run homer to Jesse Barfield. But of course, those runs were not. He was only charged with 1 earned run because of the error. So he will relieve Bob Tewksbury here in the top of the 8th. The Blue Jays have put runners on first and second. Base hit by Rance Mullenix. Shepard pinch running for Mullenix. Lloyd Mosby walked on a very close 3-2 curveball. So with George Bell and Barfield coming up, Lou Piniella has elected to go to Brian Fisher. Tewksbury worked 7+ innings, allowed 7 base hits, walked 1, didn't strike out anybody, and really did a fine job, as the 2 runs the Blue Jays scored in the first inning were both unearned. The only earned run he surrendered was the home run by Ernie Witt in the 5th inning. So 3-3, and the Yankees failed in their 2 times that they threatened in the 6th and the 7th. They had men on 1st and 3rd, nobody out. Stieb worked out of it. And in the 7th inning, they got runners at 1st and 3rd with 2 out, and Cerruti got Easler to fly to left. Now the Blue Jays have mounted a mild threat here with the meat of their lineup coming up, and let's see how they fare against Brian Fisher. Scooter.
All right, Bell has hit a sacrifice fly, lined to 3rd, and bounced into a double play. He has not attempted to sacrifice all year, and he's not going to do it again. He pops it up. Now, if Fishland gets there, the infield fly rule will be called. He's having problems, and Pasquale, good thing he came. Fishland really would not have caught that, Jim. He got confused.
Oh, it'd have been it'd have been interesting to see once.
Don't say not interesting.
Yeah, since the umpire didn't call the infield fly rule.
I see.
Now what if the ball hits between them? They got double play.
He didn't call the infield fly.
I know, that's what I mean. So if that ball would have
hits and bounces away.
I just said it would have been interesting. I didn't
yes,
say it would have turned out how it would have turned out.
These left-handers think of things that I don't think of. That's very interesting, though. I'm glad it didn't turn out interesting. All right, here is Barfield, and he takes a strike. Boy, that was a big out. Who is that?
That is Mr. Bell.
He won't let go of that bat. He's probably going to burn it.
He's going to take a bite out of it. As you pointed out, he has never sacrificed.
No.
He is leading the major leagues in most career at-bats without a sacrifice hit. It's true. It's
really?
Like, when we were up in Toronto.
I thought you were kidding. Is that right?
Close to 1,400 at-bats without a sacrifice bunt.
Ooh, I know Joe DiMaggio and Ted Williams. There's a double play ball. Holy cow, almost knocked Fishland down. And they get the double play. I tell you, Mike Fishland has come up with some outstanding plays here. And Fisher does the job. No runs are hit, no errors. A man left at the end of 7.5, Toronto 3 and the Yankees 3.
Participating advertisers in New York Yankee baseball are your local Dodge Boys. Dodge Boys have more fun because Dodge Boys sell more fun. Busch, the beer with a taste as smooth as its name. Eastern Airlines, official airline of the New York Yankees. We earn our wings every day. Your Toyota dealer in the Toyota Celica. Performance and style. Who could ask for anything more? And by the New York Yankees. And the New York Yankees, after getting out of that 2-on, no-out jam in the top of the 8th, are going to lead off with pinch hitter Butch Weiniger, replacing catcher Ron Hasse off left-hander John Cerruti. Scooter?
All right, Weiniger takes a strike. Hasse had himself a double while he was in there. Hit the center field fence. Led the inning off, but did not score. Boy, he's really guarding the line.
There's that old overrated guarding the line play.
Yep. No.
See, now, if Cerruti, depending on who the pitcher and the hitter is, if Cerruti's trying to keep the ball away from Weiniger, then my thinking is guarding the line's a poor percentage. He's more apt to pull that ball where the normal position would be.
All right, but see, I'm from the old school, and I would rather they get a single than a double. That's the only reason I would go. But that's Garth Orge at third, right?
Yeah, but still, you want to play your percentages. See, my thinking on this play over all the years they talk about it is if it's that important, why don't they do it to start the game to keep the other team from getting the lead?
No, wait a minute, cut. There's a bouncer to second, and Garcia throws him out.
The first run's the most important, right? They say, okay, then if the first run is so important, why don't you guard the line early in the ball game?
Well, the pitch is strong, number one. He hasn't tied.
I'm anxious to hear
late
this.
in the game. I got to think of something as we go along. It's just habit. That's the way Joe McCarthy, who I thought was tradition.
Yes, it's
was
tradition.
the greatest manager.
Oh, I know. It has its place, but unfortunately, too many things in baseball they do for tradition's sake.
Right.
And not because they really make sense at that particular time.
I said that. You
Okay.
play for the... Somebody downstairs trying to tell me what I've already said.
Okay.
Some kid that's just breaking in. All right, Winfield has bounced a short, walked, and scored in single. Fouls it back 1-1. But I would have to disagree with you on that, but that's good. That's
well,
what
see here, I think it is a good percentage here with Winfield.
Oh, yeah.
Plus, with one out already, you do want to keep the guy off second
Right.
base. If he gets a single here, you got the double play in order. Single will lead off the inning. They're going to bunt him to second anyway.
You got something to know. I had never thought of that. Why don't you play him in the first inning like you do in the 7th, 8th, and 9th? Foul back on the screen.
Well, I saw the article in the Times today on Steve Carlton. And I heard Kurt Simmons in years past say, Abner Doubleday put those guys out there in those positions for a reason. And for the most part, if you play them straight away, maybe a step to pull, a step the other way, over the long haul, you come out ahead. There's Righetti and Holland in the Yankee bullpen.
Struck him out. Ooh, that was a mean-looking breaking pitch. So Cerruti picks up his first strikeout, and the batter now is Mike Pagliarulo. Mike has struck out twice and singled. He's got to go for the long ball right here. That's what the Yankees need. 2 out, 3-3, bottom of the 8th. Now, that was weird. It looked like he had his pitch to pull and swung late and almost got a base hit. Went right in on the hands. One. 2 out, nobody on the bottom of the 8th. Inside. That was that backup job.
The one thing we didn't mention because it ended the inning, and of course we went away for a commercial, but that double play ball hit to Mike Fishland was not an easy chance.
Oh, no. Mike made a great play. I just got under it. Oh, man. If he'd have got just a little bit more wood, that would have been long gone. So it's 3 up, 3 down. And on the Dodge scoreboard at the end of 8, it's Toronto 3 and the Yankees 3.
Here's the all-star lineup for Thursday night, July 3rd. Yankees host the Tigers in a 6 o'clock game. Following the game, Thornapple Valley Hot Dogs presents the Grucci Family Fireworks Show, then a music concert with Fats Domino and Jerry Lee Lewis. End of 8, a 3-3 tie. Low-scoring game for these two teams, and Upshaw will lead it off against Brian Fisher. Scooter?
Yeah, it really is. Upshaw has bounced out 3 times and takes a strike. Kind of a relaxed strike call that time by John Shulock. Brian Fisher in relief. Bob Tewksbury, who pitched a beautiful game. Well, and a fly ball. They're going to have to hurry. Griffey cannot get it. Upshaw takes that big swing, and it's a little flare out there, and it caught Griffey on his heels. Tough to get a good jump on a ball hit like that.
Well, a couple of things. Not making excuses for Ken Griffey because he's an outstanding outfielder. But as you mentioned, Upshaw with the big swing. When a hitter takes a big swing, the outfielder has a tendency to judge the ball off that swing.
Right.
And couple that with the fact it's tough to pick up the ball today. And Griffey is not accustomed to playing center field.
All right, you got it all down that time.
And I would say if he had been playing center field on a regular basis, chances are he would have got a jump and caught that ball.
All right, Garcia the batter now. He has sacrificed once this year. Although they like to hit and run with Garcia. He doesn't strike out that much. But he's going to try and bunt and lays down a beauty. Holy cow! many times we've seen pitchers, as they go to field, to turn their head and try and throw it before they got the ball?
Well, that really, if you're Brian Fisher, you just say to yourself, I was careless. That's just carelessness, because there's only one play right here. There's no way that you're going to get Upshaw at second.
No.
And you have one thing to do right there. Just keep your eye on the ball. You see Garcia in your picture.
And there
He's got plenty of time to get him.
Sure. And then he watch. He just that little quick, brief turn of the head to the left.
Like, look where Garcia's running. He's running way inside the baseline. If he stays that far in and you throw it and hit him,
he's
could
out.
call him out.
Yep. But he couldn't take a chance there. And Pinella's coming out now with Witt and Leach, left-hand batters, due up. He's got Righetti and Holland out there, and he wants a left-hander. Well, that's Guidry out there, too. Well, he had Holland and Righetti.
Well, while the pitching change is being made, we'll take time out along the Yankee Baseball Network for the following message. Al Holland on the scene here with men on first and second, nobody out. Both teams have threatened late in the ball game, 3-3 tie. Yankees with men on first and third, no outs in the sixth inning. They didn't score. First and third in the seventh inning with 2 outs, didn't score. Blue Jays had men on first and third back in the seventh, failed to score. Last inning, first and second, nobody out. So both teams have threatened, they have not cashed in. Al Holland is coming on the scene, as we mentioned, right now, and Jimmy Williams will counter with Buck Martinez pinch hitting for Ernie Witt. In all probability, the sacrifice bunt will be in order, and it'll be interesting, Scooter, to see how the Yankees decide to defense this. Well, if they put the rotation play on where they attempt to nail Upshaw at third, they got a sure double play because Martinez cannot run. So this is one case, if you make the bunt play properly, you can get a double play. And
I'm sure that Martinez is going to bunt, because as you mentioned, the way he runs, if they let him hit a ground ball, it's a cinch double play.
And then Cliff Johnson has moved into the on-deck circle. So he would then pinch hit for designated hitter Rick Leach if Martinez was successful with the sacrifice.
Well, he's been successful once, so he hasn't had too many opportunities to try. He's only been to bat 76 times all year.
Holland worked 3 innings in yesterday's ball game, and he's allowed just one unearned run, really, in his last 2 outings, covering 4 1/3. He is the kind of pitcher, the more you use him,
the better,
Yeah, he'll get a little more life on that fastball. So it'll be interesting to see how they defense this play.
Last 2 times he pitched, he really had a fastball.
And he is not particularly quick at getting off the mound, so I think we can look for Pagliarulo or Mattingly to come charging down.
All right. Nobody out. A tie score, 3-3. In the top of the 9th. Oh, we got him swinging away. What a break for the Yankees. He pops it up to Pasqua. Holy cow, these managers hate the bunt. They despise it. I can't believe it.
Well, I think sometimes they look so far down the road at what might happen. I mean, maybe he's saying, okay, Holland's going to try to throw a high fastball. And Martinez, a good high fastball hitter, will give him one swing. Or if he does bunt him over, they're going to walk Johnson, take the bat out of his hand. Now you got Tony Fernandez up. He's hard to done. So I don't know. The percentage play there is
I could not figure that one out.
But,
wow.
Jimmy Williams knows his team better than we do, so he decided to let Buck Martinez swing the bat.
All right, now the Yankees have almost as good a chance. Johnson doesn't run much faster than Martinez. He hits it on the ground. Of course, Cliff a better hitter than Martinez. He's batting .295, 10 doubles, a triple, 10 homers, and 37 runs batted in. He's really digging a toe hole. You know, if Tex Carlton, why do I always say Tex Carlton when I mean Steve Carlton? Because I want the Yankees to get him. And it must be on my mind. Anyway, those old-time pitchers, I see a guy digging in, he'd be flat on his back. Oh, how do you like that? So all that strategy, and Johnson comes through with a single, and the Blue Jays lead 4-3. I mean, there's a guy digging in, Jim. I mean, he dug so far down, half his foot was, look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's back.
A lot of times they wait till you dig in, and then they let you get a good toe hold, and then come up and in with,
right.
with the pitch. Well, Jimmy Williams might be saying now, I wish I'd have bunted. Of course, if he'd have bunted, Piniella probably would have walked,
right.
So.
Oh, man, that is unbelievable. The first pitch thrown by Holland. And those good hard throws, I like to see him throw that fastball up around the letters or higher.
Well, Johnson's a good fastball hitter.
Yep.
Holland relies on the fastball. And, you know, when you're out there in the mound, you can't manufacture a pitch you don't have. And Al just does not have a real good curveball.
No, that was power against power. I don't know whether his side pulled a rib or a muscle or...
That's a decoy. He's looking for an inside pitch. Those shortstops
you pitchers
got
don't
all
trust
the tricks.
any.
No, they got all the tricks.
All right, Fernandez has singled, bounced to second, reached on an error, and bounced to second again. One man out. Holy cow. Can you believe that? 2 pitches, a single and a double, and 2 runs scored? Now, on a curveball, if Hags knew a curveball was coming, he had to be over guarding that line.
Well, he was pretty close to the line in that situation, but, of course, the Yankees wanted to play in double play
look
position.
Look at how far away he is. Three steps he took, and he dove and still didn't get it.
That's a case where that, see where that breaking ball is. It's too far out over the plate for Fernandez, and Holland is primarily a fastball pitcher. That's really not his best pitch, and usually when you leave a breaking ball out over the plate like that, that's where a right-hand hitter is going to hit it down the line.
Third baseman, John Ford.
Johnson hit the fastball. Fernandez hit the curveball.
Yeah.
And now Garth Orge will be up for his first time. Orge hitting .258, 2 doubles, 2 homers, and 15 runs batted in. Oh, boy, that takes the heart out of you. Tewksbury pitching a beautiful game. Fisher comes in, gets out of a jam. And some careless fielding gets you in trouble, and before you know it, you're down by 2 and line to center. Griffey coming on, makes the catch, and another run will score. And it's now 6-3 on the sacrifice fly.
Yeah, the Yankees, who we've talked about throughout the ball game, you know, they're leading the league in hitting, and yet they've left a lot of key runners on base, and they have made some outstanding defensive plays today, yet the ones they didn't make have ended up cost them.
Absolutely.
The error by Randolph in the first and the miscue by Fisher right there have really negated the great plays by Fischland and Winfield.
All right. All right, here's Mosby with 2 men out. Ball 1. Mosby is 1 for 3. Robbed of a homer by Winfield in the first. Fly to center, single to center, and walk. The only walk allowed by Tewksbury. 2 balls, no strikes. The only walk given up by Yankee pitching. And there are only 2 given up by Stieb. Inside, 3-0.
There will be one remaining.
3-0. Mosby might be swinging here. Strike 1.
Well, the Yankees have nobody throwing in the bullpen right now, so of course Mosby, if he's thinking ahead with George Bell coming up, would like to take a base on balls if he could.
Strike 2, 3-2.
Toronto has Tom Hinkie finishing his warm-up tosses down in the bullpen, and he undoubtedly will come on to try to wrap this one up for the Blue Jays. He's their ace.
the enforcer. Full count. Popped him up. And Fischlin and Griffey. And Fischlin having trouble. He's not going to get it. Holy cow, he makes the circus catch. Boy, he's having problems up there, but he's made some fine defensive plays. 3 runs on 3 hits. There was 1 error and a man left. And at the end of 8 1/2, it's Toronto 6 and the Yankees 3.
There's the new Toronto catcher, Buck Martinez. So the Blue Jays take a 6-3 lead. Jimmy Williams went against the percentages, elected not to bunt with Buck Martinez. He popped the ball up, but key base hits by Cliff Johnson, and then Tony Fernandez, and a sacrifice fly by Garth Orge, along with miscue by Yankee pitcher Brian Fisher, resulted in 3 Toronto runs. So they have scored 3 unearned runs against the Yankees today to take that 6-3 lead. And there's a look at the numbers on Tom Hinkie, the ace right-hander out of the Toronto bullpen. He also appeared in Friday night's ball game, in which he saved the game for the Blue Jays, the one that Fisher also lost in that particular case. So, Scooter, the Yanks will send up Randolph, Fischlin, and Pasqua here in the last of the 9th, and their last chance to avert a sweep at the hands of the Jays.
Oh, boy, I tell you, that getting more and more psychological.
And they got a hot club coming in tomorrow, the Detroit Tigers.
Those Tigers have been red hot. All right, Willie Randolph has fly to right and twice hit into double plays. Ball 1. Ball 2.
Well, if Tom Hinkie wraps this game up, Jimmy Williams has got to be pretty pumped the way his ball club has come back here. That would put them 4 games over 500, and they're going into Boston from here.
All right. Strike 1, 2-1, Nate. I mean, it would seem like just a matter of time with the club they had. They really got a lot of talent on that club. It's a lot like the Yankee club. There's ball 3, 3-1.
Plus, they got to be encouraged that Dave Stieb is just 2-8.
Three and 2 the count.
Yeah, with Stieb being 2-8 and the way their ball club is coming back, that's got to be an encouraging factor for him. Figure he's going to get better.
Oh, boy. Ball 4, and Willie is on.
Attention, please. Ladies and gentlemen.
Hinkie's walked 16 men in 39 innings, so control, if there is a weakness in his pitching ability, it would be his control. Throws exceptionally hard.
Yeah, it's almost a walk every 2 innings, but he gets a lot of strikeouts, too. He's got 54 strikeouts in 39 innings. Now Gary Renicky. Pinch hitting for Fischlin. Strike 1.
Well, both Jimmy Williams and Lou Piniella have used all but one of their extra players. Kelly Gruber's still left on the bench for the Blue Jays. Dale Berra for the Yankees.
Wow. This whole series they've used a ton of players. 1-1. Renicky hitting .276. 3 doubles, 3 homers, and 12 runs batted in. Nobody out. Yanks trail by 3. Just out in front. Renicky hit that 3-run homer yesterday. A little controversy on. 2-run homer. Had 3 RBIs. That's what it was. All right, a ball and 2 strikes on Gary. Nobody out. 2-2. Foul back on the screen.
In case some of our viewers joined us a little late, Dan Pasqua is on deck. Ricky Henderson was hit on the elbow by a pitch in the very first inning, and played a couple more innings, but it obviously was swelling up, and they decided to take him out of the lineup, move Griffey to center, Pasqua to left.
Well, you hate to lose Ricky Henderson anytime. There is a full count now on Renicky. 3-2. And if he could get on, that Pasqua would represent the potential tying run with nobody out. 3-2. Ball 4. Oh! Don't go away. There'll be a little huddle. That young man you were talking about is out in the bullpen, Jim, loosening up.
Steve Davis.
Yep.
Well, normally when Jimmy Williams brings Tom Hinkie into the ball game, he figures things are over, because he is leading the Blue Jays staff in saves with 9, and he has 6 wins to go along with that.
Well, he walked out there very upset, Mr. Williams.
Well, if there's one thing, you know, Hinkie's got to be talking to himself, because he's got 2 right-handed hitters in Randolph and Renicky or Fischlin if he were allowed in, and he walks both of them. Now he's got to face Pasqua, Griffey, Mattingly, Easler, Hasse, all left-handers. Or Weiniger, rather, who's in place of Hasse.
All right, first and second, nobody out, and Pasqua is due. He bounced out in the 4th and bounced out in the 7th. 0 for 2. (6-3), Toronto leading. And Pasqua asks for time. Hinkie having problems. Forgot there was somebody on second, I guess. Didn't get the switch sign. There's Randolph at second. Down and away.
Ball had a little sinking action to it.
Did.
That's one reason why Toronto has Jim Acker warming up in the bullpen along with Steve Davis. Jimmy Williams might not be too quick to bring Davis in because of his inexperience, and Acker with that sinking fastball be a better choice than Caudle.
Drive to deep center, but Mosby is there. Oh, you know, he lost that ball, and his son Renicky thought he had lost it altogether. He made a great recovery, Jim. He had lost that ball at one time and then just stuck that glove up. How he ever caught it. All Pasqua had to do was pull that a little bit. Watch
back
this.
In the 6th inning, we saw Mosby lose the sight of the ball that Hasse hit off the wall. As you said, he's fighting that son, and now at the last minute just kind of takes a stab at it.
Boy, I'll tell you that. Again, Martinez goes out to talk with Hinkie, and Griffey, the batter. Griff is 2 for 4, a double, a single. 1 out. Pasqua hit that ball a ton. Just pull a little bit, and we'd have a tie ball game. Strike 1.
Maybe Hinkey's like a lot of the great relievers over the years. You can't put him in that category yet, but a lot of short relievers, when they come in with a 3 or 4 run lead, they have a hard time getting the ball over the plate.
Yeah. Well, there's been a ton of them. Yankees have had them. You saw Randolph and Renicky, and he went fishing for that one. Foul tipped it into the catcher's glove. 0-2. Yeah, that was not a good swing by Griff. The old Sandlot games, only takes one to hit it. I almost went after that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
2 to get loose and 1 to produce. Is that what they used to say to you?
Very good. I like that. We didn't use that in Brooklyn because I said that produce was too big a word. First and third. He stayed with that one, had a good cut.
Of course, Hinkey well aware of the ability of hitters like Griffey, Pasqua, Mattingly to pull that ball in right field seats. He's doing everything he can to keep that fastball in the outside part of the plate.
Sure is. Two balls, 2 strikes. Bouncer, foul. Rufinella, Roy White. And the other side, Jimmy Williams and his group. Managers go through an awful lot these kind of games. 2-2. Fair ball, steps on second. Rather first, throws to second, double play, and that'll do it. The ball game is over. The final score, Toronto 6 and the Yankees 3.